Conversation was live.
Nope, but
Yeah, it's a good warm-up.
nope, but now we are live. Hello, people.
Oh,
Yeah, I forgot as I was setting up that I put I changed Discord capture on stream from the beta reactive thing that kept breaking and making everyone sound robot to a virtual cable. And then during the starting soon, I forgot. Oh wait, it's not there. I can't hear what you guys are saying.
nice.
Yes, that does fix that. I'll need to fix that again later, but that's future me's problem, and he's a prick.
That's not very nice.
I know what he's done.
Oh, you fucking don't. He could be a changed man. You don't know that.
You could also be a dead man.
That is also true.
That entirely depends on if I go to a Denny's.
Yeah. Case and I meeting for the first time will tell that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm certain that I could body a Case, but I'm also pretty certain his family owns guns.
Yes. And I've had to get trained onto them all to make sure I know how to use them in case if something happens. Because it's the South, and that's what happens.
That's a comforting thought.
Yeah, no, it's we're going to Florida for a vacation. Okay, you remember, if something happens, grab the briefcase, grab the guns, run. Like I'm a fucking criminal.
Yet another reason I do not want to visit the South.
You shouldn't, really don't.
Christ.
As
Once
much as I
again,
like to get down here, don't.
My complexion makes it really hard for me to visit places filled with white people.
I'm just able to pass enough as white to go for it, despite being mixed to shit, so...
Well, I say places filled with white people. There's a caveat to that. That doesn't include my family, who is very incredibly white.
Are they whites, or are they, non-white people that act exceptionally white?
No. They're very, very white.
Okay, gotcha.
My family traces its roots to Europe. In general.
So they're immigrants.
Also, they're rednecks, so
Oh, fuck! Ow!
Oh, shit. Oh,
Hi,
party of one.
Nukes! Thanks for the raid. I'm gonna have to
Just
change that.
started.
I'm gonna have to change that raid message eventually when I get the new stuff. Colossus screaming in my ear just keeps giving me a heart attack.
I think my favorite is Pax, what is it, sound whenever you get a subscriber?
It's just a gunshot.
It's just a gunshot.
It's really
Alright,
loud,
Nightbot's
though.
broken! Right, Nightbot's broken, I can't do that.
Uh-oh. You know, the problem with this is it's extremely loud, so it scares the shit out of me every time.
Hey, congrats, Nuke. How was your... I saw you were doing your Pokemon Soul Link earlier. How'd that go? Did you end up beating the second gym? Welcome back, TKH. But, I'll waiting on that. Yes, we are back with Umineko. And we've got a new person this time. Mr. PacTheGoblin from the hit Twitch.tv channel, PacTheGoblin, starring the famous Twitch streamer, PacTheGoblin. Look at them abs he's posting in chat.
So, Mr. the Goblin, what's it like being a better streamer than Case?
Mr. the Goblin.
Yes. Is that
I
not your
guess there is
government
no
name?
space between my name, huh?
No.
It is all just one word.
Nope, that's why I used the same joke last night when we were playing the soccer game. Or hockey game,
The
whichever.
soccer game.
It was called Striker, so it was probably a soccer game.
I mean,
It is, in fact, air hockey, but yeah.
it is air hockey, but anime.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is this?
The opening for Umineko.
Does this play every time?
If we
Yes.
wait
Yes.
long enough, yes.
If we idle long enough, yeah.
Nice.
This is all we're giving you before we're telling you anything.
Oh
before
shit!
the visual level.
I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, quick. Remember those faces, they're important.
We
Her
find out the dead
especially.
at this point. Oh, there's a lot of people. Is
That
that,
chick's
an
a
idol?
Toho fan.
Oh, okay.
That is important knowledge.
Oh, evil smile. This is Phoenix, right? Excuse me?
Parallels could possibly
just
be
fate.
drawn. Who knows?
Oh, she has a. What the fuck even is that?
That is a gun.
That is not a gun that I have ever seen. That is a weird
That,
looking
my
one.
friend, is a shotgun.
Also,
Why
this takes
does
place
it
in the
look like that?
1980s, so it looks different.
Oh, wonderful.
This is 1986.
That's an island.
It's when
Whoa.
it's when having wood on your
Cool.
guns was still cool.
I don't know what's happening.
I hope you got all
There's
of that
too
because
much.
there will not be any explanations after this.
you
Don't worry.
guys aren't going to explain anything to me.
I don't know the name of half the characters that show up in the opening.
Can you
Game
at least
audio
tell me
is
which
Robo what?
character I'm supposed to be playing?
We will let you know in a
okay,
moment.
so
One sec. The game audio.
You are playing Genji.
We will show you him when he comes up.
I've been giving him more of a this voice, but more regal. He has a lower pitched voice.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
with the sword.
Where's the game audio so I can check monitor?
I
I
know
need
exactly
healing.
one Genji. I need healing.
Basically just do that voice and you'll be fine.
Think Butler. Just like think classic Butler.
Okay, TKJ, is the
Butler,
game
and I
audio
think
fixed
British.
now?
I mean, you can make
fixed
him
the game
British.
audio?
I have been making him British.
Well, they're all exceptionally Japanese.
Awesome. Japanese British man.
The character Soundwave offloaded onto you is this motherfucker. Understood?
Yep.
Also,
And,
all
Genji?
all 6 of those people you saw in the opening, this guy, this chick who was holding the gun, her, him, they're all dead already, so don't worry about them.
Oh yeah.
They're not
The
important
guy
anymore.
who's grayed out. The guy who's grayed out up at the top is just missing.
He just fucked off. And evening, Rescue Squad Culp, how's it going? We just starting now. Alright. Do you actually want like a quick recap of what's going on?
No. I wish to go into this blind.
Understood. We've got 2 hydrates to drink up before we get started.
Okay, I got my water.
And I
got like 2 liters of water, so when I run out of that,
And I got my stream snack
I'm not
of
getting
brownie
any more for a
brittles,
bit.
so...
how many hydrates are possible? Did you put a limit on them?
Before I put a limit on them, I don't think there's a limit anymore. Just please don't drown us.
I made that mistake.
No.
of
Nuke,
not
come
putting a
on, man.
limit.
There
All
it is.
right. All right. You want to play? You want to play? Huh? Gotta turn off my noise suppression.
Tragic
Oh,
that after that,
Sip, but I'm laughing too hard.
after trying to open up and allow like some kindness for
I just chugged 24 ounces of water, man. I am so wet.
You know, we
Oh
just
my
started. I
God.
don't think you need to be wet during the stream this early on. We haven't even gotten to the bodies this time. Thank you for the 5 hydrate redeems. Nuke, I will get to them right now.
I need to go fill my water.
Please don't go overboard.
We just started. How are you already done with your water? It was only 5 hydrate redeems.
That's a lot. If you take a pretty big sip each time, that is significant.
Yeah. We'll just have a second drink ready. Hi,
Dude, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna refill my cup with some water.
Hi, said she. Apparently was delaying our start because everyone's drowning in water. How's your day been? And we have a new person in the chat to take over voicing Genji and maybe someone else. Actually, hold on. How can we divvy up the characters at the moment? Because we've got them as... Because I am the... So... Oh fuck. I don't need... I need that marker to be white, not black. Or... Where's the tools? Scripts. Change the color to white.
I'm back.
Close. Yeah. So we've got...
Alright, the noise suppression's back on.
J case knowledge and. Okay, so that's
Oh,
3
you're back.
off that. All the girls are being voiced by Velvet. So that's that off, that off, that off. Oh wait, I'm also doing Kumasawa, so.
Yeah, since I can't do an old woman for shit.
Well, that means we've got someone to do canon. We can have someone take over canon for you then, since Pac is here.
Pac, what's your old woman voice sound like?
Let me do an old woman. I can do an old man.
Well, good, because you're already doing an old man, but.
Good old man but high pitched.
Oh, back in the day.
Back in my day.
Did you know tuberculosis killed most of us?
Yes.
Tuberculosis killed my husband.
Do you know tuberculosis still kills people to this day?
Yes, I've heard.
Yes,
It's killed my child.
Yes, I've heard John Green talk about it everywhere on TikTok.
He complains about it all the time.
It's just
It's the
like
reason
personal vendetta against.
It took me turning into an adult to actually like really like the Green Brothers.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't watch them when I was like a teenager, like a kid.
I didn't even read any of their books.
No.
Not even SciShow?
Because- What?
Not even like the SciShow YouTube channel that Hank runs?
I think I watched that in class.
What's
we were
wrong with
forced, like,
you? First it's wings, then it's this. What else have you been lacking in your life?
Well, to be fair, I don't know if this was obvious or not. Not the biggest fan of science when I was in school.
They
Gave
had a
me
history thing
terri-
too on their channel, I'm pretty sure.
I also didn't find out I like really liked history until after high school.
So you just went through high school hating
I-
everything?
Hated high school.
Yes, so did I, but like,
And like the interesting subjects were like the stuff I learned when I was a senior, when I was already on my way out. Which was people in politics and economics.
oh, you're one of those people that actually liked politics class.
I did actually really like I liked the more medieval politics, which should have been a sign. And then I just I like the idea.
Ah, so you're a
of
monarchist, gotcha.
Oh god.
No. Well, I like medieval. I also like medieval economics. Because barter systems make way the hell more sense than whatever the fuck we have going on right now.
Yeah. Look, when you can buy the futures of something that doesn't exist yet, I don't like that sort of economy. So basically the entire way, like, the Colorado, Nevada, like, Californian shit handles water, that should not happen. They should not be selling, like, twice as much water as exists.
Yeah. I have such complicated feelings on that because I have family that owns water rights in California.
Alright, aren't you one of the, like, technically related, like, indirectly to rich people?
I'm related to fucking billionaires.
Hey,
Indirectly.
why don't you, spare
It's
some
my
love for
mom's-
the stream?
It's my mom's
You know, you're
cousin's ex-husband.
What the fuck?
What is this, Dark
Oh.
Helmet?
Oh.
Alright.
Not to air out too much about like my mom's family, but he fully cheated on my mom's cousin.
Well, sounds like more reason to take money from him.
Oh yeah.
He got caught. Oh, there's a sit-up from Alex.
Oh, a sit-up and a push-up. Get moving, Sound.
All right, Pac, you're joining us.
What?
One.
I don't think I have room.
One. Sit up. What? That's the push-up. Right. Look, we're sitting here reading a lot. We need some way to keep the blood
We
moving.
gotta exercise somewhat.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We gotta exercise beyond just running down the stairs to get more drink.
Fair enough. How old is this man, by the way?
What?
The fucking butler guy.
Oh, he's like,
Genji? He's probably
he's like spent like 40 years working for this house. He's
I
ancient.
don't
Probably in
want
his
to go
60s.
really heavy on the old man now.
He's probably like 65-ish.
Wouldn't be surprised.
He doesn't look like grumpy old man though, so... Oh well. I'll figure
Anyways,
it out.
yeah. Anything else anyone wants to speak about or something, or should we get started?
I need to take a piss really badly now.
Yeah, I'll go too.
All right, sure, why not? Fantastic timing, folks. Piss. Yeah, I guess it's time for the piss. Everyone's stopping. We're running another 2 minutes of ads to take a piss.
I mean, hey, it staves off ads for another hour.
Yep. Anyway. Time for the 30-minute prelude. Exactly. Yeah. This is where we drag Pac in and then try to give him a crash course on everything that's happened, and then make him decide who the murderer is with no sight, completely sight unseen. He doesn't know these people, just pick which one killed someone.
Talk about the 30 minutes of us bullshitting yesterday.
Is it bullshitting if we were having fun?
You know, the best part is we were in this exact room while we were bullshitting for 30 minutes yesterday.
Oh my god.
It's just a room that's conducive to conversation, that's why it's the parlor.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Man, I'm so against like rich people, but I do want like a rich person house.
yeah,
It's a conundrum.
I say Adam Sandler is the killer. Well, where was he on the night of October? Discreetly Googles when the hell this is taking place again.
October 6th, 1986.
Sorry, this is October 5th, 1986 right now.
Oh.
You're completely wrong. How dare you? Mr. I'm never wrong.
I'm never wrong about My Little Pony. Everything else is up in the air.
Wow, that's a severe debuff you've got going on, man.
And it's not that I'm never wrong, it's that I'm consistently right.
You have consistently sent redeems trying to make us say, Soundwave is never wrong. I am never wrong. I have evidence.
No. I've sent redeems saying Soundwave was right. I'm back.
Welcome back. Oh, it does say October 5th right there. That is helpful.
What's that?
Anyway. We all good. We all ready. We gonna do another like stop for 20 minutes. Are we ready?
Yeah, I need some
Good.
more water.
You're hugging a giant alcohol bottle. Why not drink that instead?
Because alcohol's not conducive to talking for this long.
I don't know.
And,
I've
like,
seen people
not
get very
actually
loose-lipped while drunk.
True.
Yeah.
And not absolutely wrecking your throat the next day.
It's
Well,
only
I
a
need to talk
Monday. You're not gonna
tomorrow, so
use your
it'll be
throat that
fine.
much, probably.
I only have like one stream planned. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Just sleep
Well,
it
I
off.
guess Pac does frequently stream fucked up, so
Yeah. Yeah, see? It's gonna be perfectly fine. No one's gonna
I'll
notice.
survive. Hey.
Alright.
anyways.
Anyway,
Can I get
continue.
started? I'm trying to read it, you all. After that, we sat in the parlor and wordlessly chewed through the breakfast that Kumasawa-san had made. Of course, this was right after something like that had happened. Nobody had any appetite. However, we realized that not eating would weaken our bodies. It would also be rude to Kumasawa-san, who had made the breakfast. Kumasawa-san had taken the tasteful western vegetables, ones that Goda-san had probably special ordered for the purpose of some extravagantly fancy dish, and cooked them in Japanese style, making them turn into an unpleasant color. As to what Goda-san had been planning to cook with those ingredients, right then, I couldn't even imagine it.
I don't think he can either.
Hey, he's only missing half of his head, top half of his head. But he'd
Yeah,
still
the
be able to taste the
front-facing
food
half.
because he's still got his tongue to waggle around even as a body. if I did think about it, I would be reminded of the way Goto-san had died, and the inside of my mouth would be filled with a sour taste. The sour taste of mackerel. Yeah.
See, the best part is, had Goto not died, I would have been like, hey, Pac, here's a chef.
Yeah, you literally just missed playing the chef.
Damn. Unfortunate timing.
Yeah, it happens like that.
It do be like that sometimes.
For the time being, everyone pretended to eat, but there was no hope of making any headway into the meal. Then, everyone was brought up to speed on the current situation. First off, that Uncle Kraus, my dad, Kyrie-san, Auntie Rosa, Goto-san, and Shannon-chan had been found in the Rose Garden storehouse as cruelly... Fuck! I'm chewing on my
Why
tongue.
we do that?
Shut up. First off, that Uncle Kraus, my dad, Kyrie-san, Auntie Rosa, Goto-san, and Shannon-chan had been found in the Rose Garden storehouse as cruelly mutilated corpses. You know, it's really convenient this game is very repetitive on, like, what's happened in, like, the past chapter for us when we're streaming.
Catch me
Well,
up to
I
speed.
think
Yeah.
it expects you to be like, scene change, save, and then like step away for a bit.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know what the intended experience was for it, because it is a long visual novel, so it would have had, like, breakup time stuff. But at least when going through a stream, it's very helpful, because it can just cover shit we've already covered.
Yeah.
Which is up new people super easy. Yeah.
Yep. And that despite that, we were unable to use the phones or radio, and still couldn't contact the police. So until the typhoon passed, there was nothing we can do. Also, they're trapped on an island in the middle of a typhoon. Sort of, you know, and then there were none, if you know Agatha Christie. Yeah. That catch you up to speed, Pac? Or...
Enough.
Yeah. Furthermore, Grandfather, who we had hoped to be able to show a little leadership in this kind of situation, had disappeared at some point. Was there a Toho reference there, or is the Toho reference later? Because I know Jessica is a big Toho reference itself, but...
Oh my, this is weird looking.
Yeah? Ah, right, the end, then there were none. Yeah, cause UNO and shit, right? Goto-san hadn't made breakfast, so Grandfather's stomach must have been empty, and if he had just been casually taking a walk, by now he should have been stomping around to whine about how hungry he was. And yet, he hadn't appeared. There was more than a small chance that he had become caught up in the earlier crime. Auntie Natsuhi and Auntie Ava said that on their return trip from going to see Kinzo, they'd called out to him on every floor, looking for him, but weren't able to find him. If you think about the timing of it all, it was probably best to think that he had been caught up in the crime. If the culprit had taken the trouble to move the bodies of Dad and the rest, who we figured had been killed in the dining hall, all the way to the storehouse, then maybe they had already killed Grandfather, moved his body to some strange location, and we simply hadn't found him yet. No one actually said it, but this theory seemed extremely convincing.
Oh, right.
You're
We'll
up.
go check. Yeah. We'll go check that all the windows and doors are closed. We must also carefully search for Father. Children, make sure you do not leave this room. Ava-san and Hideyoshi-san, I'm sorry, but please stay here with the children. Dr. Nanjo as well.
I understand. I will wait here.
Aunt Natsuhi led the servants, Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, and Kanon-kun out of the parlor. All that was left was Auntie Ava, Uncle Hideyoshi, Dr. Nanjo, and the four of us children for a total of 7 people. Let's all stick together, and maybe watch some TV while we wait. Jeez. Sunday daytime television sure doesn't have many good shows on, huh? Uncle Hideyoshi tried to stir up the gloomy atmosphere, acting cheerfully.
Good show. Watch it. Watch it. Ooh.
Oh, really? You want to watch some TV, Maria-chan? Then come watch it with your uncle. Maria was the only one who played along. Even though Maria had been told of her mother's death, she didn't show the slightest flicker in her emotions. Was 9 really this young in age? No one else was feeling the slightest bit like joining in, and they each sank into their own sofas and let their mind go blank.
Aniki, can I ask you something?
Yeah, I think Shenshia said that they watched Higurashi during the middle of this murder island. Because, hey,
You know,
gotta plug your
the
own
perfect-
material.
The perfect children's show. Higurashi.
You know, for kids!
Anyways,
Yeah. What is it?
just now in the storehouse, you said something about Shannon Chan in a ring. Did you give that to her?
Yes, Tivo, this guy's name is literally Bachelor. His name is literally in Japanese.
Ta-da.
In Japanese, his name is literally Fight Man.
Fight Man!
Fight Man!
I thought it would just be the fucking... Like, they would just translate
No.
that shit directly, but no.
No.
Fight
Oh,
Man,
no,
that's
no.
even worse.
Like, fight. This entire family, except for, like, the people who married in and Kinzo, the head, is literally just like, hey, this is a bunch of kanji that we made to sound Western.
Oh my god.
And yeah, that is
Yep.
literally, I am pretty positive that when they started this out, it said, it literally said, my name is Ushiromiya Battler. Here's how you spell it. Made from the kanji of fight and man. Yeah. Fight man, I named you after the 2 things I like to do the most. And now you see, we've got 6 bodies lined up, so you better go for the next ring out. Leonix, I can't wait. I really want to play the Umineko fighting game after we're done with this. It sounds like Battler has just a bunch of stupid shit going on in there. Because I got showed a clip of, like, some of his super moves. Fantastic. It's gonna be a fun time. Also, hi, Tivo. How's it going? Yes, color-swapped Battler as evil. There is, in fact, actually a fighting game for this, Malix. Umineko Golden Fantasia. It's amazing. Because you see,
Why he asks.
if you actually look at how, like, Umineko and Higurashi came out, this man was literally inspired by Tsukihime. Ryukishi wanted to make a visual novel after playing Tsukihime. And then he found out that Tsukihime had Melty Blood, a fighting game.
I think it'd be really funny if Ryukishi did a fake Go event at some point.
It would be really funny, but I know he's working at... I know right now he's currently working on one of the new Silent Hill games. The one that isn't being made by Bloober Team, I think. Whichever one that is.
Been here 2 seconds. Case's doppelganger is named after his favorite genre, and there's already a spin-off where they beat the shit out of each other.
See, don't you see why I thought it was fitting to play this game, huh? Battler would not look out of place in Ace Attorney or Trauma said, exact. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw in the, like, opening video that plays if you don't speak for, like, 10 seconds, they already blast a ton of, like, Ace Attorney poses and references at you. So, he would absolutely fit with, like, nailing a sibling smug fuck to the wall by their own words. But that's all Ace Attorney shit going on. But we haven't gotten there yet. We've still gotta, like, ease into the accusations. George Aniki didn't answer, but he hung his head and closed both of his eyes. There could be no clearer response. Yeah, this NTR guy kind of got his girl, like, killed. Battler and George! Oh, TiVo. Battler, George, Jessica, Maria. This man's dead, but his name was fucking Rudolph, like the fucking reindeer.
And don't forget about Kraus.
Hold on, Shirobi,
I can't use this voice outside of jokes now. Not that I wasn't already using it explicitly for jokes.
Is it worth, like, finding the sprite of George just standing like the whitest man you've ever seen? Is it worth it?
We can do it later.
Later, we'll do it later. We're already stalling out the game enough. It's been 30, 40 minutes.
And it's my line, you bastard. Quit it, Battler. Have some tact.
Battler.
You're right. I shouldn't have asked that.
That's right. It was me. Last night, I proposed to her. That was when I gave her the ring. I told her that tomorrow... Don't you dare! It was me, Battler! Stop!
It was me, Battler.
This was a serious line! I need to see it. This is a serious reading. This guy just lost his fiancé. Somebody just...
It was...
I told her that tomorrow, she should put it on whatever finger she wanted as her answer. I must have sounded so full of myself. And that ring had been on the ring finger of Shannon Chan's left hand.
Actually, I've been having talks with Shannon for several years. About you, George Nissan.
I wonder what she could have said.
Shannon, it was oh, sorry. I'm realizing it's not exactly a flashback. Hold on. Shannon was always really bad at lying. It was instantly obvious that it was you she was talking about. She asked whether it would be okay if she got close to you. Just being a servant. She asked about stuff like what kind of things do boys like and what kind of clothes should she wear to make them happy. Lots of stuff like that. How should I say it? Well, I was jealous of her.
And now
Is it
she
because
said...
you don't experience love? Is it because you don't experience love from your own family?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, her mom wasn't the one that beat her kids, but,
Yeah.
she had other kinds of neglect.
Type of abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to point out.
All that, and right after she handed the engagement, fucking.
All that for a
that
drop of
and-
blood.
All that, and right after she's handed the engagement ring, it's just all over.
All you need to know, TiVo, is people have died. That's all you need to know.
Oh, also TiVo, with Battler's name, I think the first joke I made was, I'm Battler, and his arch nemesis, Joke Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch. Ooh, please use hashtag vent. No personal drama in the Discord general chat.
Jesus Christ. You know, it would be a 9-year-old in Discord, too.
Oh my god.
My God, man.
No. Anyways, right.
Always during the serious moments we do this.
Seriously.
It's because they're depressing.
Well, yes. We have to get through the depressing shit to get to the funny shit.
Anyways,
It's a curse.
Are we all done with the jokes?
yeah.
Give it a minute, and I'm sure Tifa will
Continue.
pop up with something, but keep going.
I know people value things differently, but being proposed to by a man is, in a way, the high point of a girl's life. So I'm sure. Last night, I think Shannon was happy from the bottom of her heart. No, the happiest she had ever been since she was born.
A man wrote this, and this is based in the 80s.
I
So
wouldn't say the high point. I would say a high point if the girl if she's straight or in love with a man.
oh boy, what's this?
All right, who's saying it?
Okay,
I can do an old person. Alright.
Uh,
so there's... This is all person. Oh no, there is a person too.
yeah, there's a
Wait.
person too there. Go ahead.
Hello! I am your brother's mother's father's
mother.
Cushion's ex-roommate!
What does that make me?
me?
And also, what's a brother mother?
Hey, I said it first, Case.
Tuberculosis killed my husband. It also killed my child. It also killed most of us. I also had to walk up a mountain both ways. Young whippersnapper younglings. Child, little one, tiny one, small one. What did you say?
Granddad, do you need the oxygen again? It sounds like you're suffocating on your own voice.
Fucking dies. The end. No more.
Being proposed by a man is one thing, but the real dream is being proposed to by a fight man.
Oh no.
No, the only way a fight man proposes is in the ring, and you have to win.
It's a challenge.
It's not in the ring, it's in the ring.
The only valid way.
And in this corner tonight, weighing in at 300 pounds, Fight Man. And in the other corner, weighing in at 150, soaking wet, his girlfriend. This is their engagement ring.
Round one. That twink is not 500.
It's not 300.
He does take steroids.
Yeah, Battler does canonically
This is
just take
canon?
steroids. It opened up with, hey, yeah, I kind of got built after I took steroids for 6 years.
Oh my god.
And so now it's an occasional running gag.
Yeah. Natty Kane! George Aniki, without raising his head, sighed deeply. Or maybe tears had risen into his eyes. It seems that Shannon was on duty in the guest house last night, but because she was too embarrassed to go back to the guest house with me, she went over to the mansion.
Think about Shannon's feelings. When you receive an engagement ring, no matter how much you've prepared for it beforehand, it's normal to feel so elated your mind goes blank. She must have been so embarrassed she didn't know what to do with herself.
And then, Shannon, even though she hadn't been on duty there, she went to the mansion and got caught up in all this. If only I hadn't, on that day, in that place, given her the ring, Shannon wouldn't have... Saya wouldn't have been caught up in this incident. I don't know how to cry in, like, acting.
Aniki, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. So don't cry anymore. I said man up.
Don't make me fight, you fight, man. Hey, it's when they cry.
No. Fuck.
Yeah. George, take these steroids. You'll feel better.
Okay.
Butler-kun, leave him be.
After those words from Auntie Ava, I stopped talking to him. Misplaced words of comfort might actually hurt him. Jessica sat down to Aniki and quietly put an arm around him. When
Wait,
does the
you need
road
to tell
rage
me
arc
Fight Man is the main character?
Fight Man is the
Yeah.
main
Hold
character of
on.
this murder mystery. He's got to
What
use
the
his
fuck?
the steroid-using Jock has to use his braids to solve a murder mystery.
Oh no.
Maybe only Jessica, who had known about Aniki and Shannon's love since the beginning, and who had been discussing that relationship with Shannon, could comfort Aniki now. I went over to Auntie Ava and sat down on the opposite sofa.
Butler-kun, you are really strong. It looks like you've kept a good hold on yourself.
Thanks, I take steroids. Well, look, the depth of the love becomes the depth of the wound, right? That old bastard, I couldn't care less about no matter how much he snuffed it.
Oh,
I
right,
feel
his
bad about-
catchphrase! Right, he gets a catchphrase in episode 2!
I feel bad about Kyrie-san, but, well, she wasn't actually my parent.
My. But on the other hand, you were crying a lot back then, right?
Wait, he gets it in this
My
episode? Hold up.
dad died.
Wait, hold up. He gets it in this episode, not episode 2. Yeah, this is
I
still
get
episode
a fucking
1.
catchphrase.
You get a fucking catch. How the fuck are we supposed to act out emojis?
TK, how the fuck?
Seriously.
No,
That's panicked, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't use emojis, really. I use emotes
Yeah.
because I know what they meant
Yeah.
by personally choosing them.
Yeah.
Malix, this is the 6th stream. This is the 6th stream, and we're
Still on
only...
episode 1!
Alex,
it's
this is the
not
6th
clip
stream,
art.
and we are halfway done. We are halfway
Tivo.
done.
Tivo, it's not clip art, it's a full animation puppet.
It's not a puppet, it's just a bunch of stuff that could be made into a puppet. I'm not that, like, putting that much effort into this.
Yep. Well, I did think that at least that much crying was due as a gratitude to the parent who raised me.
The way you can switch your mood quickly like that, and your dry tone, must have come from Rudolph. That kid would always get violently happy, sad, and angry. But he would always regain his cool immediately afterwards.
It's nothing like that. I haven't really been able to get over the shock yet either. I think it's just the emotions that rose up in me were different from everybody else's.
What do you mean?
I'm an orphan.
Oh.
I don't know if that's clicked with you yet, but my parents are dead.
Well, yes, and we were also planning on murdering our father soon, so, like, man up.
We
Man
were
up,
planning on
motherfucker.
murdering our father, but somebody got me killed.
Well,
I
that
don't know
sounds
who.
like a skill issue.
Bitch.
Well, don't look at me.
Ava, I'm gonna haunt your ass. I don't care if you didn't kill me.
Oh, pish posh, darling. After all, you tried resorting to that barbaric method.
All I'm saying is one 12-gauge buckshot to the chest would have solved a lot of our problems.
Yes, but then they would easily pin it on you. Why go for that when you can make it an accident? There's so many natural features on this island, after all.
Are you gonna push him? Get him out of his room?
Now,
Oh,
why don't you
please, a
just
strong
kill?
wind could have pushed him.
Why don't you just kill him like it was an accident, but then like don't tell anyone for a few years and then keep cashing his pensions?
Rudolph, why aren't you the smart one? That's brilliant. You have moments of brilliance.
No, see, I am the smart one. I'm running a successful business. You're the one whose business ventures are failing.
Rosa, anything else to add?
Don't beat your
I still
kids.
have to deal with a deadbeat husband.
This is ugly.
That's
fucking
not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
I was acting much calmer than George, Nikki, and Jessica were. That wasn't because my sadness was less intense and I'd already sprung back to normal. It was because my sadness had been gradually replaced by a different emotion.
Rather than sadness, it's more like I'm irritated. What bastard did this and where the hell is he? I feel like I can't settle down until I've smacked him upside the face.
That was what I really wanted to do. Grab my roids, set the groid rage going, and Hulk out. Fight man wanna fight. Ook ook. It's like playing Donkey Kong and Smash. You've got the dedicated fuck off I win button ook ook, where you just smack the ground and everything within a postcode goes away. It was like I couldn't allow myself to just sit here, overwhelmed with sadness and hugging my knees.
Since the time Dad and everyone was killed, this island has remained covered by the typhoon. In short, that means the asshole who pulled this disgusting, detestable bullshit is still somewhere on this island.
It certainly does. I wonder if they're hiding themselves somewhere in that dark forest, even now.
I felt like I'd had a very similar conversation with Kyrie-san the night before. That's right. After the letter from the person who claimed to be Beatrice appeared at the dinner table last night, we had talked about whether or not a 19th person actually exists on the island. Perhaps they're hiding in this house, in this room, in this very conversation even. It could be you, it could be me, it could even be...
Auntie Ava, these murders. Do you think they have anything to do with the letters from Beatrice last night?
Oh, right. That thing. Well, I wonder. Although all us siblings were in agreement that that mysterious letter had been sent to further complicate the problem of father's inheritance. As to whether that and the incident this morning are related, it's impossible to tell at this stage.
Was that letter really given to Maria by some witch called Beatrice?
How could it be? All of it was a farce devised by father, wasn't it? He made someone like Shannon-chan wear the dress from the portrait and deceive Maria-chan, right? Isn't that just like the kind of intricate prank father would pull?
Last night, I talked with Kirie-san about whether Beatrice actually exists. She also said Beatrice was probably one of the 18 of us.
Isn't that obvious? There's no one else on this island besides us. So obviously it must have been someone amongst us pretending to be a Beatrice.
Mogus.
Among.
There's
Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum.
Of course.
there's no one else but us on this island, huh?
Obviously, right? Who else could be here? No one is on this island except us. There are only 18 people. So the one who pretended to be Beatrice has to be one of those 18.
Kirie-san had denied that there was a 19th person by flipping over the chessboard. Even though Auntie Ava hadn't constructed an argument that complicated, her opinion was at least the same. Except, if that's the case, our situation starts to look very ugly. At the time of Beatrice's letter, we were able to dismiss the matter as just someone's prank. However, if we deny the existence of a 19th person at this point, matters are not so jovial. In other words,
If there's no 19th person, then the culprit who killed Dad and the others is also one of the 18, right? So, in other words, that would mean that someone in this very mansion is the one who killed them.
dun dun dun!
Lightning crash. Stinger music.
If there's a 19th person, this murder gets way less funnier. I don't know. If so, say there's 19 or there's 20 or there's like 50 people on the island. So we're still getting this funny shit happening right now because people think there's only 18. So whether it's 19, whether it's 18, whether there's only actually 5 people on this island and Battler's hallucinating because his schizophrenia is going too far. Because I mean, look at him. He's with all those roids, he would have schizophrenia at this point.
I feel like you sorely misunderstand what roids do to you.
I'm deliberately misinterpreting what's happening for comedic effect. Yes, that's exactly how it works. Definitely. All the food goes to muscles. Brain no get food. Brain make shit up. Ook ook. Battler got drip.
Badly
Okay, yeah,
got the drip.
yeah, I'll give you that. Everyone here's got like on this island has like severe drip going on. Yeah. Auntie
Except for
Ava's-
George. George is wearing a lime green suit.
I feel like
His name
one
is
of our
George. You can't be too hard on him.
yeah, he is wearing like the whitest suit you can imagine from a like.
Like, that is the ugliest suit out of everyone here.
Okay, but at least he's not like clipping his tie around their boobs, like Kyrie is here, or like Kinzo is here.
Kinzo has drip. What are you talking about?
Okay, but the tie
The tie that goes into the vest?
that goes over the cape, into the vest, under the jacket that's under the cape, where it's like weaving in and out like it's a fucking like crochet thing.
I guess.
The monkey is the brains of the outfit. Honestly, yes, actually, George is one of the smarter characters we've been shown so far. Auntie Ava smiled
also-
meaningfully. He's also what?
He's also one of the few alive adults.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's an adult technically. It looked like Auntie thought that this conclusion should have been obvious from the beginning.
The culprit carried the bodies of the 6 into the storehouse. But they sure did a good job getting into that storehouse, didn't they? And that shutter was always kept locked and closed, I'm told.
As of now, we have confirmed there are 18 people on the island.
No, so Tivo, George, Jessica, and Battler are George is like 21, Battler and Jessica are 18, Maria's 9, and the rest
Oh.
of these people are in their like 40s
Yeah.
or 60s.
We have old motherfucker, less old bitch, old motherfucker. She's probably in her like late 30s, early 40s. Old
I'm
bastard,
not that old.
old bastard, old bastard. Nice old lady.
I'm 47.
She's 9. He's like 16. 18.
You're a
18.
dick.
He's like 20. Fuck you, you're dead.
You can hear me.
I can fix that.
How? You ain't got no.
There we go.
I just realized. I was like wondering, why is he suddenly
I'm into
silent?
I told you I would.
No, I was gonna text you die.
Anyway, the line.
Oh right, sorry. Wait, I thought I already read the line.
Okay then. The line.
Yeah, I read it a few minutes ago, and then you guys
No,
started
the
joking
new
about
line.
ages.
The new line.
The new one.
Okay, let's go now. In other words, in order to carry them into the storehouse, the culprit would need to unlock the shutter. Understand?
Is there any possibility that the shutter was left open by mistake that day?
The servant said that it's always shut. In other words, unless they brought the keys out of the servant room, they definitely couldn't have opened the storehouse.
Is the only key the one in the servant room?
Genji-san said so, yes. Which means that the culprit knew where that single key was stored and took it out. Just now I saw Kanon-kun return the key to the servant's room. The wall was packed with keys, and I don't think that a novice would know where and to what those keys went to. The culprit was magnificently able to select the key to the storehouse from all of those. Furthermore, even though the key didn't have a tag or anything sticking to it, they knew it was the key to the storehouse behind the rose garden. And while I'm at it, they also knew where the storehouse was. I'll say it even clearer. The culprit knew the inside of the servant room well.
Her argument was extremely plain and clear. If the bodies had been thrown somewhere in the bushes of the rose garden, no explanation would be necessary. However, the one key to the storehouse was in the servant room, and stored with a large group of other keys such that a novice would not be able to tell them apart. This meant that the culprit was someone who was used to going in and out of the servant room and knew well where the keys was. Yeah, Ava is some kind of martial artist, so she could absolutely kick the shit out of someone. The family didn't normally go into the servant room, which meant that...
Which means that one of the servants is the culprit?
I'm sorry, but even your auntie can't say any more than that. However, I'll tell you one thing.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out what TKJ just said as a redeem. I ate bread. There was cheese on it! I lied about the bread. It was noodles. So was mac and cheese. I lied about the cheese. So was dark chocolate. I lied about the noodles. It was a wafer. I lied about the dark chocolate. It was charcoal. Toothpaste. I lied about the wafer. It was a toothbrush. I also ate the counter. I also ate the rooms. I also ate half of the house. I ate the other half of the house. I also ate the other stuff I lied about while eating the house. Kirby confessed. I really should, but also doesn't take a lot. Like, it does take a bit to get to 1,000 if you've used it all up.
No, TiVo, only half of her head was beaten in, so you could tell it was her.
Yeah, the way the
So-
blood splatter is on everyone, that's where their head is gone. So she lost most of her head. All her head. All her head. All her head. He's got a two-face thing going on right now, but yeah.
What's that?
There's still enough there for an evil twin, Tivo says. Culprits. Well, we should properly say they were culprits in the plural. And what's more, they were well armed. You see it, don't you? They had to assault the four in the dining hall and kill them all at once. Drag a total of 6 bodies all the way to the storehouse beyond the rose garden. And scribble that disgusting makeup on their faces. There's no way that a single culprit could carry all of this out on their own, right?
So I'm gonna stop for a sec. The way the bodies have always been described since they were found, they're always been described as like makeup or like blah blah. Like Battler's the one who says, "Oh my God, he's missing half their face," but then the other he'll say like, "Look at that disgusting makeup that's going on," or whatever. So there's something up with that because that's too consistent to not be a clue, or at least a red herring. It was impossible. It might not have been if a single person spent enough time on it, but that would have taken ages. It's probably best to think that a significant number of people had been part of it.
Oof. So what you mean is maybe all the servants were in cahoots?
Oh God, obscure Nintendo facts. Shit.
Nintendo was started in the Meiji era as a card company after Hanafuda cards were from being illegal to being not illegal anymore. It then became Nintendo.
Yeah, I'll go with that because I'm blanking on Nintendo facts at the moment. It's been like a fair bit since I've actually like binged stuff like Gaming Historian and other stuff for obscure Nintendo.
Oh yes, the classic. My uncle works for Nintendo.
That's a game now.
You know what's the funny shit? Literally right before I saw, like, I started to stream, I was on, like, Twitter and something, and some guy had posted a short that was like, yeah, so this one guy found this person on Fallout 76 named P3. So he started trading with him. Because Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, his usual username is P3. That's why his, like, Twitter is at Xbox P3. They traded him specifically enough items to make him get an achievement, and then they checked whether that was actually him with his, like, official Xbox account and shit. It was, meaning not only can you run across, like, the head of Xbox in the middle of playing Fallout 76, you can get banned by the head of Xbox in the middle of Fallout 76 if you piss him off. Like, he doesn't need my uncle works at Nintendo, I work at Nintendo, lie. Or Xbox. Same difference. Fuck. That was misclicked. I know.
Good job,
fuck. Shut up. Shut your face. That one.
Please keep it quiet, okay? It's bad to speak from speculation alone. Besides, what would you do if it really was true? They might not let us return alive. This is an opponent who had no trouble killing Nissan and the 3 others.
5 others.
The only people in this
Like
room
Shannon
right
could
now.
put up a fight. Let's be
The
honest,
only
like
people
Shannon
in-
could put up a fight.
The only people in this room right now who look like they could put up a decent fight are the 3 people in my family. And maybe you as well. 4 at most. The situation is no different than it was last night. In short, it would be easy for the culprit to massacre the rest of us.
To answer your question, TiVo, of is Beatrice actually real? That's kind of the question we're operating under right now. We don't know. Beatrice, all we know about Beatrice is supposedly she is a witch from, like, before World War II that Kinzo managed to get a lot of money for gold, like was 8 billion yen worth of gold from, and used that to
10
rebuild his...
billion.
What, 10 billion?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like,
Yeah,
that
10
rebuilt an
billion
entire
yen.
fortune of his family through that alone.
Yeah.
And now, supposedly, she has come back to claim, like, interest and, like, reclaim the gold as well as interest from Kinzo now that she's, like, quit her job or something as, like, the family's alchemist or mage or whatever.
Yes.
So, no one has ever seen her besides supposedly Kinzo. We do not know at this point in time whether Beatrice is real or not.
Yep.
But if she is real, is she a witch like she claims? And if she's a witch, does that mean magic's real? This is the stuff we have to worry about in this murder mystery visual novel. I had been playing detective with Auntie Ava out of a desire to expose the person who had killed Dad and the rest before the police did. If I could manage to skillfully penetrate the culprit's identity, I wanted to stick the evidence in their face. Like Phoenix Wright. I had gotten it into my head that... Oh, hydrate, y'all. Oh. Well, I'm out. I'm gonna have to refill in a bit, but we're about to get an ad break in a bit anyway, so... I'd gotten it into my head that if I did that, the culprit would give up and surrender, just like one of those detective movies. However, the culprit only surrenders because they're in a situation where resisting would be futile. I mean, I want to skip. Good job, Tivo. Thank you. The culprits behind these incidents on the island were far from helpless, and might even be able to massacre all the remaining people on the island. And on top of that, this island is like a giant locked room, cut off from the outside world by the typhoon. So they had the full day until tomorrow to kill, scheme, and cover up their handiwork. In short, we weren't playing in the kind of safe atmosphere where we could entertain ourselves by playing detective. On the contrary, we were at a stage where we had to be scared stiff. Since playing detective might displease the culprits and cause them to repeat another mass murder.
Well, it's just a possibility, right? But I can't bring myself to trust the servants yet. And that doesn't mean they're the only ones I suspect. I also think there might be some mastermind behind all of this.
A mastermind? Huh. Why do you say that?
It's just a feeling. Think about what the word servant literally means. It means they serve someone. They do someone's bidding, right? Everyone who was killed has some relation to the Ushiromiya family. So it would be natural for someone with interest in that result to be involved.
This was also plain and clear. The Ushiromiya family were currently in the middle of discussing how to distribute the inheritance if grandfather died. If this followed the formulaic plot used to death by many classic mystery novels, it would definitely be a crime by someone with ties to the Ushiromiya family and who was entangled in the inheritance problem. Auntie had also probably read a few books in that genre. Her theory did have a few one-sided conclusions to it, but it was a run-of-the-mill idea that anyone would surely hit upon. I think anyone would have suspected the servants, even if their logic was different. I'm gonna cut us off right here, because an ad's about to start. We'll be back in like 2 minutes, because I'm going to need to run to grab more tea, then, so the voice doesn't get shot. We'll be back in like 2 minutes. Enjoy yourselves on the other side, and then hopefully we'll get actual more deductive reasoning done for who could be doing what. Now. Bye.
What? Oh my god.
What?
Impossible.
Later, TiVo.
Bye, bye.
Alright.
Alright, I'm back. Goodbye, TiVo.
Welcome back.
Hope. Goodbye, TiVo. Have fun with the writing. Right. And right before the ad break ends, good timing.
Yep.
Eventually we'll get to a Genji or canon for Pack to read. Or we might just be having, like, bad luck.
Yeah.
Alright. But, okay, we are back from the ads. Alright. Everyone ready to go?
Yep.
Bye
I
bye.
mean, personally, I'm ready to go.
Pack, you back?
I never left.
Ah, okay, I couldn't hear you, just very quiet, apparently.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, yeah.
No, like, even right now when you're speaking, it's very hard to hear, so...
What? Oh.
Oh.
There, is that any better?
Yeah, it's a bit better, yeah.
Yeah. I just moved my mic, so that should be fine.
Yeah.
Right?
I may actually have to run kind of soon here, though.
Oh no.
No,
Unfortunately.
no, it's fine, it happens. Don't worry, man.
Yeah.
In that case, I will actually dip out, but I will be here lurking and listening.
Thanks for stopping by and hanging out at least. Sorry we didn't get you
Yeah.
to anything you could voice.
No worries, no worries. Thanks for having me on, but I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Alright. Especially the talk revolving around the key to the shutter. That was enough to make it easy to strongly suspect that one of the servants was involved in the case.
Which is why I don't like it for some reason.
What do you mean? You don't like it?
No, just talking to myself.
But this did actually catch my attention, so yeah. Yeah, well, if you like it, definitely play it for yourself. It's on Steam. I would get a mod to change the, like, sprites from the ugly pachinko ones to either the original fat-fingered Higurashi Ryushiki ones or this one that's from the PS3 version of the game. But yeah, if you want to try it yourself, it's on Steam. It's really good. I've only played, like, episode 1 and a bit of episode 2, and it's already fantastic, so... Yeah. And I will get myself killed if I want. You can't stop me. Don't tell me what to do, Dad! I dodged the question by joking, but I couldn't wipe out the sense of unease I felt inside me. Because the reasoning we had arrived was altogether too simple. The reasoning that anyone could arrive at. And I just couldn't accept that. If I tried flipping over the chessboard, like I had learned from Kirie-san, that was exactly why it was impossible for the servants to be the culprits. If the servants really had been the culprits, they wouldn't have hidden the bodies in a place that was tied to themselves. Certainly not the Rose Garden storehouse of all places, whose key they themselves controlled. the police would probably immediately pursue whoever had been in control of the key. That would create a danger for exposure. If we were to assume that they were the culprits, they had no reason to carry the bodies into the storehouse. Did they expect us to think that, so they put them in the storehouse deliberately? No, that still didn't make sense. When the police come and inspect the site, all kinds of things will probably become clear. No matter how deeply or careful the culprits were in carrying out the murder, some kind of traces will definitely be found. So, in summary, they have everything to lose and nothing to gain. If you think about it that way, and look at the game from the culprit side, it feels like there's no point in advertising the location of the corpses. If the bodies were found, a report would be sent to the police. The remaining people would become more cautious. They could start looking for who's responsible. Anyways, none of these would make the culprits feel any more comfortable. Just like the words of the main character's mother in a novel I recently read called Higurashi no Nakukoro ni. I fucking told you! He straight up references himself as a reason why. Talk about citing your sources.
I mean, what's safer way to not get hit with like copyright law or, you know, getting sued than referencing your own stuff?
Yep.
It's certainly a bold decision. A mystery story has 4 parts: introduction, development, turn, and conclusion. And so, to commit the perfect crime, it is essential to eliminate the introduction. I saw Higurashi! We said the magic words. AK Hell has popped in out of nowhere with a steel chair.
Hi, Kale.
How's it going, man? Hope you're having a good one. Was it, what would, as you said, an afternoon neutral, or a bad evening, or however that chain of logic was going in your server? Right now, no one knew where Grandfather was. We didn't know whether he had already become a victim, or if he was one of the culprits. But the state of the confusion had to be beneficial to whoever did this. Woo! Chaotic neutral at nighttime. Yeah, exactly. Well, with the bodies around, yeah, that would be chaotic neutral right now. We are doing fine, I'm pretty sure, unless that suddenly changed before the streams, like in the middle of the ad break.
No, I'm still good.
I'm still good.
By blatantly advertising the bodies to us and declaring, "Hey, there's a murder going on, yahoo!" The culprit had absolutely nothing to gain. I say, don't you know? There's some bodies around that them there corner.
I think... God, it's such a stupid joke.
Go on.
I think it was Ava and she vented.
And yes, Anya Castiglione? Anya Castiglione. I'm going to call you that for the moment, because that's the only thing I can feel like I'm pronouncing correctly. Yes, we are reading Umineko, and this is our first time through, for the most part. I've gotten to episode 2. Everyone else is going fairly blind. With going on for, like, what's going on for, like, the overall story, so... Yeah. We're all still new into this. And I have words about the circle when it becomes relevant, but I'll wait for that later. Right now, that was where we could flip the chessboard. So this blatant advertisement of the bodies was itself the culprit's goal. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. We'll probably keep playing this, like, until we're done, so for the next... With the rate we're going, for the next few months, maybe half a year.
Yeah.
We're doing it, but yeah. Hope you can stop by and keep enjoying. So it may well be that, to the culprit, having these 6 corpses be present there meant more than the deaths themselves. In other words, the culprit wanted to display these murders. To who? To us. It was a message. The culprit was trying to shove something in our faces. I didn't know what it could be. And at the current time, none of us could grasp anything from this vulgar mass murder except malice. Malice towards everyone, perhaps.
Man, they could have just left a horse in our bed. Oh, wait. Maybe
Each one of the
don't cut off a
survivors-
horse's head.
Yeah, kind of don't, like, treat this Godfather like. You know?
I realized
Each-
what I said, and then I realized what my reactive was.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, hold on. We've got a willing volunteer right here.
I am neither willing nor volunteering.
You're being voluntold.
It's not volunteering if it's sacrifice. It's just murder.
Nah. Each one of the survivors had some kind of connection to one of the 6 who had been killed. Uncle Krause's death brought sorrow to Jessica's family. The deaths of Dad Kirie-san brought sorrow to me. While Auntie Rosa's death brought sorrow to Maria. Probably. We don't know. Goda's death was probably dealt a shock to all his fellow servants. And Shannon-chan's death brought grief to George Aniki, who had proposed to her, and Kanon-kun, who had loved her like an older sister. Everyone now on this island had received an equal amount of sadness. Auntie Ava had claimed that the servants were definitely in cahoots. But then, how could you explain the deaths of Goda-san and Shannon-chan?
Yeah, no, I was thinking that, like, Ava's argument of, oh, all the servants are in cahoots with each other, then why kill Goda and Shannon, who are part of the servants?
Well, to be fair, Goda is new, so it could be like a plan made by the older servants who had been there for longer. So Goda, we
So
could...
I kill Shannon.
Yeah. Goda, we have the easy excuse of he could be, like, just the new guy they get rid of as, like, point it. But Shannon, yeah. She's, like, one of the oldest servants besides Genji, so... And by this argument, the grief caused by the 6 deaths hit everyone but Auntie Ava and Uncle Hideyoshi. It was very possible to doubt Auntie Ava herself, who was acting like she was outside the net of suspicion, and who might have been trying to point suspicion at the servants. In the first place, she had managed to avoid suspicion and place it on the servants with the argument about the key to the shutter. But if you looked at it from the perspective of motive, about who would gain something from the murders, Auntie Ava's name floated to the top of the list.
Battler-kun, Auntie knows what you're thinking, okay?
Huh? No. Please don't tell anyone. That I had my head full of, you know, that kind of stuff.
I'm the one who would gain the most from these murders. Since I'm going to be suspected anyway, I might as well get it out in the open myself.
I tried to dodge the conversation by joking around, but it looked like it hadn't worked.
The inheritance is to be divided between the siblings. But now the 4 siblings are just me. All the assets of the Ushiromiya family will become mine.
If Uncle Hideyoshi heard you, he'd say, "Give it a rest, Ava. It's not a joke."
I'm sorry, okay? No matter how I try to smooth it over, I'll just be suspected anyway. So I was just fooling around. So I've been thinking, from my point of view, this murder must have been planned to cast suspicion on me. Unfortunately, my alibi for last night is weak.
Could you tell me about it? About last night?
As you know, The discussion of how we siblings would gnaw apart the inheritance continued until late in the night. But I don't know how late it lasted. My husband and I had woken up early that morning. We were so sleepy, and we let ourselves out a little past midnight. That we then returned to the guest house and rested there.
So they were in the guest house. Even
That's
though
wrong.
Nazi prepared rooms for them in the mansion, I thought.
Mansion itself. Yeah.
And they were already at the mansion when everything was happening. So
That doesn't
a
add
little
up.
too quickly.
yeah, hold on, there's a hole in that alibi. Unless we are just remembering wrong, but like
No,
at first
they were
brush that
already-
feels wrong.
They were already here when Natsu
Yeah.
was trying to get breakfast ready.
Yeah, they were already here when Nazi tried to get breakfast ready. But like whether we don't know because George and Shannon were there late, whether or not they actually returned to the guest house at that time. So that's the bit where I'm feeling like there's a problem with this alibi here. Bit of issue going on.
Can anyone other than Uncle Hideyoshi prove it? Ah, of course. Well, of course, it's not like I'm suspecting you or anything, you know.
You know?
My, I wonder about that. I don't know if it counts as proof, but when we returned to the guest house, we were greeted by Genji-san and asked if we needed a towel. I think that should be enough to prove that we returned to the guest house a little after midnight. Of course, if my theory was correct and the servants were all in cahoots, that wouldn't actually make for an alibi, would it?
Nope.
Nope. That is a point, isn't it? Doesn't that mean that right now I'm playing detective with the real culprit?
But let me say this for my honor's sake. If my goal was the inheritance, I wouldn't commit this weird kind of murder.
I'd just shoot him.
Oh, but my murder was also weird.
Yes.
Again, you want to shoot the old man. I wanted to make it an accident. We are two
It's-
different people.
We make it look like suicide.
Fair enough. That would be a nice compromise, wouldn't it?
But
I
anyone
mean,
who
in,
knows
like-
the old man wouldn't accept that he just killed himself. He's too stuck. He's been surviving off of pure spite for like an entire
Oh,
year.
yeah, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was given a 3 months to live diagnosis like a year ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's constantly had 3 months left to live for an entire year.
Shut the fuck up, Rudolph.
Don't blame me when your own plan has faults.
In Secret House, this is why you're not the smart one.
I will fucking haunt you. I will push you off a boat.
That implies she's managing to get to the boat at this rate. They're taking like 3 years to get there for like a single hour in the game.
Rudolph, if you weren't already dead.
After all, if I just wanted to make them forfeit their rights to the inheritance, the method of their deaths wouldn't have mattered. On the contrary, I'd try to make their deaths look like an accident, wouldn't I?
Go fuck yourself.
I was joking!
Absolutely nailing her character, Velvet. Fantastic casting choice here.
Pardon, I just need to get over it real quick. Because again, I was joking all this time. Like, I didn't expect her to actually say that out loud. Like,
Sometimes you just gotta say the quiet part out loud. With a gun.
anyways. If I'd been roping in the servants and carefully planning everything, that's even more reason I'd do that.
You're right about that. If you were killing someone to make a profit, you definitely shouldn't make it look like a murder.
Insurance fraud.
You see? So from here on, your auntie will be in a very blue mood. I'll probably be treated as the person behind this by the police and harshly investigated. I can't wait.
You know, I'm starting to believe that you didn't kill me, but like, go fuck yourself, Ava.
Again, I've been telling you since the beginning, darling. Make it look like an accident, and yet you keep insisting on shooting me, old man, like some barbarian.
I'm gonna make your death look like a fucking accident.
This family's probably committed a lot of fraud, TKJ. They are billionaires. Actually, they got this island from fraud. They literally, like, scammed it out of, like, the occupying government.
They scammed it out of the U.S. military.
While they were occupying Japan. So,
And then-
you know,
Remember-
Kinzo's got that,
Yeah.
like... He knows how to, like, swindle. And, like,
Remember, kids, if you're smart
finagle.
enough, you can become a If you're smart enough, you can become a billionaire by scamming the U.S. military.
We all know that military intelligence is an oxymoron.
Which in itself is a scam. At
Yeah,
this TED Talk,
honestly.
I will.
Hey, Auntie
spend
Ava shrugged with a
7
bitter smile. I'm muting you now. Auntie Ava shrugged with a bitter smile. Yes, please do not attack me, Mr. FBI agent. His name is Soundwave Lu Oden Nobunga. His address is 123 help.
No, I'm just gonna state publicly available information. I believe our military spending budget is $700 billion. Do you know how much fucking money that is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
It
But
is
you
like
know where it's
60% of our
Neither do
entire
I.
Yeah. 123helpme.com clear comms.
Do you know how much we spend on education?
A billion?
We spend about $20 billion on education.
Okay, that's more than I was expecting from the US. Like, it's still terrible, but that's more than I was expecting.
Where's the money going with the US, with the military spending?
Sports team. Oh wait, military
Yeah,
spending.
It's their
Okay,
esports
so-
team.
Yeah, on twitch.television / I don't know, US Army or something, they did that. But
It was the Navy. Yeah.
and there was reports from the Pentagon, I think I remember hearing about how, like, a lot of military contractors will just inflate their budgets to pocket it. So they could easily cut down, like, probably several billion just from, like, cutting that out. But
They could also cut out several billion by just ceasing the by not maintaining certain pieces of equipment that are outdated. We have a lot of mothballed stuff that just doesn't need to be paid for anymore. Or take that money and give it to your fucking soldiers.
okay. One
Before
mothball
we
thing.
go further,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I'm surprised we're ignoring the fact that the gold that our family wealth is built on is currently also in a dubious state of flux of whether it actually exists or not, along with Beatrice.
No, we know it exists. We know it exists because Kraus found a single gold bar.
Oh, right, right. But no one
So
else.
we know the gold
aside
exists.
from
Kraus and Natsuhi know it exists. Kinzo
Yeah.
knows it exists because he supposedly found it or was given it. But beyond that, like, no one else knows
But
what is actually
again,
real.
I'm saying by and large, though, like most of the family.
Actually
aside
redeeming
from those
Chibi case,
three-
huh?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. That was the
I
wrong
have
button. Need to
10K,
click-
man. Like,
There we go. There we go. I forgot I need to click off the board when I'm doing, like, switching to Chibi case just because of how the buttons for Umineko are set up. Alright. I am back. Just like it was easy to think of the servants as suspicious, it was also very easy to think of Auntie Ava as suspicious. So, if we flip over the chessboard, did that mean it was impossible for the culprit to be the easily doubtable Auntie Ava? However, if that logic could pass so easily, then motive wouldn't count for anything. No, that can't be right. Knowing the motive should be a big clue to knowing who's the culprit. That's why murders throughout history have been tied to try to ensure their motive will not be found by skillfully complicating incidents. I don't know. Every time I flip the chessboard, it keeps flipping from front to back and back to front. Were my thoughts closing in on the truth, or... Auntie Ava didn't want to talk anymore after that, so I headed to the window and folded my arms. I headed to the window, folding my arms so that I could cool my head a little. As I looked over to the parlor, I saw George and Iki and the others gathered, talking. It looked like they were talking about the magic circle that had been painted onto the shutter. As Uncle Hideyoshi thought back to that time, he started drawing the shape of the margins of Maria's notebook. Hold on, fuck. I forgot. I've got a whiteboard. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on. Let's see if I can remember how to do it from, like, memory. So, first of all, it was an iron cross. It was like that. Like that. There were two circles circled around it. There was probably Hebrew in, like, near the circle in the four corners, I believe, of... I don't know, but that's usually how, like, magic circles usually work. They've either got, like, Hebrew or Latin at that point in time, depending on what, like, school of magic you're using. And since it was very blatantly like a Western cross or something like that, so it's probably facing those two as well. But yeah, that's my artistic skills. Magnificent. Hold on, I need to sign that work of art. Wonderful. That'll be $500.
Yep.
As Uncle Hideyoshi thought back to... Oh, yeah. Yes, Maria is second only to grandfather in knowledge of the occult, so she might understand what it meant. That just looks like a box. Well, I'm not an artist yet. I haven't been practicing my drawer box, so who knows how good I'm actually at drawing. I can think I know I need to work in perspective or something like that, but I don't know how to actually do the muscles. I'll blame literally 1,000 other things instead of me just being a bad artist. I think it was probably something like that. There was a mark like a cross, but tweaked a bit. And then there were these closely packed strange letters all inside the outer circle. Can we hear them? What? Like a velvet... Y'all can talk, right? One sec.
What? Yeah.
Huh. Was it just like you couldn't hear them, or... Oh, okay, so you were just being quiet, so I think that might have gotten confusing.
Hey, sorry, just some IRL stuff.
No problem. Yeah. Oh, right, Velvet's, like, Discord sensitivity is, like, a bit low, so it, like, bounces up every once in a while when there's, like, just passive
right.
noise. And then there were these closely packed strange letters all inside the outer circle like this, and there was something written on the four sides of the cross, and in the empty spaces in the corners as well. It didn't look like the alphabet or something like that, it was what they call ancient characters.
Oh, shit. Right.
Yeah, you're up, man.
I was reading an email. Also, around the top of the circumference, there's a small mark. 5 small circles arranged in a plus sign, and straight lines connecting them.
Alright, there was that. Yeah, there was definitely something like that drawn there. Yep, this was it. There's no mistaking that shape. I don't know the exact characters, but this arrangement was nearly the same. Also, you're right. Thank you, TKJ. Let us save again.
Thank you.
Everyone was staring down at the shape, so I stared down at it too. I was fairly close. It just looked shit. From what I had heard, this had been painted in the shutter to the storehouse with some material that looked like blood. I see. This sure isn't settling.
Grandfather's about the only one who'd get it into his head to draw this nonsense. Surely, seriously, where did he go? I want to grab him and ask what the hell this is supposed to mean.
Jessica's voice contained impatience and anger. She hadn't gone so far as to say that Grandfather was the culprit, but it looked as though she thought Grandfather definitely knew the culprit's identity. Certainly, if you asked around for the link that bound the Ushiromiya family and the occult together, 10 out of 10 people would say that it was Grandfather. And to a person who knew nothing of this cult, the strange mark would have absolutely no meaning. Now, what do you all think this has meaning of, since you know nothing of the occult?
Well, it's one of two things. It's either a way to trap it, like a way to attract a demon, or it just actually means nothing.
Okay, you're saying that. Let me give you some more information. Think about what the scenario was that they were set up in. Where were they? Where were the bodies found? Where were the bodies found? How was the room set up? How were they found, etc. Because there is meaning behind this actual thing. Because again, this is an actual magic circle, like with actual historical occult meaning.
All right. I need to stand for this. I need to get into the thinking posture.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
Boom, boom,
So-
boom, boom, boom.
It's a shed, right? Like
Yeah, it's a shed. Bring
yeah,
out your
you'd say it's
mad pad. Show us that game theory of yours.
would you say it's like a pretty decent sized shed? Like it has like shelves and shit. Like it's
Yeah, it
enough
was
room to
fairly
put
big
6
shed,
people
yeah.
in, put 6 people in, and then have more people walk in comfortably.
Yes.
So fairly big shed. They were arranged in such a way where the first people you would notice were the siblings, then Goda, and then Shannon was hidden.
Yeah, Shannon was lying at the very back with her head like blocked.
So if you take a step back, you close the door.
This is what's on the door.
That's what's on the door.
That's what's on the shutter, sorry. But that's the way
Yeah.
they get into the shed, so...
That's what was on the shutter door thing. It's a garage door, but yeah.
Yeah, basically.
So assuming that this is probably painted in blood, or
Yeah,
some,
assuming that.
yeah, they probably. I mean, it probably it's not super important whose blood it is. It's just painted in probably a victim's blood.
Yeah.
It might be a way to trap a soul. It might be a way to attract attention intentionally. Like, it might be a way to just make it so it's the beginning of a ritual.
Okay.
There's
That's
a few
all you've
options.
got. Yeah. Alright. So you're thinking a lot of like endgame stuff. That's good. That's fair. You're thinking about what they would do after they got the bodies in there and so.
Because demonstrably,
yeah.
was drawn afterwards.
No, actually.
No?
They were killed in the dining room.
No. I mean, like, it was drawn after they put the bodies in.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Well, I don't know if you know this about painting with fucking anything, drawing in general. When it's raining, things get washed away.
Mm-hmm.
So for that had to have been painted and stayed, that means it was painted afterwards.
Okay.
It was running by the time they got there, but it was there. There's no way it was painted beforehand because the rain would have just killed it.
Alright. And
That's
so you're
that's
that's
yeah.
your judgment?
yeah.
Okay. Alright. which meant that this might have been something addressed to grandfather. That's right. The reason to advertise this crime is to show it off to the survivors. In that case, where had grandfather, as an essential recipient of the message, disappeared off to? Does this shape ring any bells?
Oh,
Maria looked at the shape with a serious face. Maybe she was enthusiastic since this was her area of expertise? However, her appearance was that of someone separated from the events at hand. As though this thing hadn't been drawn on the shutter closed around her mother's corpse. My first impression was that the design resembled some kind of foreign cross-like symbol. It certainly does have that kind of design. Does that mean it has something to do with a foreign country?
The cross symbol was originally the crest of a religious order of knights and was supposed to protect pilgrims traveling to sacred places.
then this magic circle has some religious meaning or something? This is starting to sound like gibberish.
When I looked over all of them, preparing to jump into the discussion, something shocked me. Maria was grinning, an eerie expression on her face that defied description. A sort of grin like she was making fun of everyone's ignorance. It was an expression I wouldn't have ever believed Maria was capable of making. And then she laughed. An eerie, jarring laugh. Even though I was looking right at it in front of my eyes, I really didn't want to accept it as real.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh god, jump scare!
Oop! Jump scare!
Oh god, this it. I see the Higurashi influence coming in finally.
That's completely wrong, everyone. Can't you tell just by looking?
While everyone was scared out of their wits, Maria alone kept cackling happily. After a while, that laugh was suddenly and abruptly cut off. But her expression was still like someone completely different from Maria.
This is the 7th magic circle of the sun. The characters are Hebrew. Blended here.
There's no way this
Yes.
child knows fucking Hebrew.
Okay, but the thing is, she's not wrong. Maria stole the
yeah.
writing materials from the stunned Hideyoshi's hand. Then she started drawing another magic circle, effortlessly, right next to the one Hideyoshi had drawn.
See? It was this kind of shape, right?
You know, Maria, I'm starting to think your mother was right to beat you.
Oh my god, man! You're the one who keeps saying, don't beat children!
That was a joke.
Like, a statement we don't need to say, but if you're the one to first exclaim it, okay, I'll let Battler be the first one to beat Maria again.
Yes, it was.
Maria, that's incredible. You really do know a lot.
Jessica tried to smooth things over by praising Maria. Maybe she wanted to make sure this was still the Maria who everyone knew so well? But Maria didn't give her any particular response. Maria started fluently writing unfamiliar characters in the corners of the shape. At the sight, the eyes of Uncle Hideyoshi and Dr. Nanjo instantly began to widen.
Written on the 4 arms of the cross are the names of the angels who preside over air, fire, water, and earth. Chashan, Arel, Talihad, Porkala, and... Let me just... Oh wait, no, I think it's Porkala.
And in the middle, the Avatar.
Master of all 4 elements.
All 4 elements.
Ha,
When we needed the most,
very
he
funny.
vanished.
Now shut up and listen. And in the 4 diagonal directions are the names of the 4 great rulers: Ariel, Seraph, Tharsis, Cherub. Do they match?
Even if you were unable to correctly write what you had seen, if you are once again shown something identical, it isn't that difficult to state that the two are the same. Asked by Maria whether they matched, Uncle Hideyoshi and Dr. Nanjo nodded over and over again. It's unmistakable. Yeah, these kinds of characters were definitely written there. How can you write something like that?
There was also characters written around the circumference.
I know. Like this, right?
You are a
Maria began
terrifying
jotting down the
child.
Hebrew all around the circumference.
It's from the Old Testament book of Psalms. Psalms 116, verses 16 and 17. You must
me a
at least
second.
read the Bible.
Give me a second. I have something to look up. See, Psalms 116.
Thou hast broken my bonds in sunder. I will offer unto thee the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and call upon the name of Yahweh.
Oh Lord,
IHV.
truly I am your servant. I am your servant, the son of your maidservant. You have loosed my bonds. I will offer you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and I will call upon the name of the Lord. You forgot 16, man.
I'm just going off of what I'm reading in like the Key of Solomon right now, because I'm going off of like the actual magic text they're basing this on. Also, yes, Umineko is longer than the Bible, but yeah, here it is. Pentacle of fifth pentacle of the sun, is it?
7th circle of the
But-
sun.
Seventh pentacle of the sun. Sorry, but yeah, I'm
Circle.
going off of that.
It's circle, not pentacle, you heathen.
Pentacle and circle are like the same, different translations of the same meaning. God.
Practicing magic's heathenistic, so
Yes, but I'm
that's
an
like
atheist, so I can get away
actually
with it.
heathenistic.
Yes, this is based off of the works of King Solomon. You know, like God's golden boy for a bit before Jesus. I think was Solomon before or after Jesus?
I think Solomon was.
How the
before?
fuck is that a question? Solomon's in
My
the
guy,
Old
I never-
Testament.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could probably check by
He
actually
wrote
checking right now.
Psalms.
My guy,
think
I haven't gone to church since I was 10,
This is
and
history,
I never paid
man.
attention to. My guy, I'm only just getting back into researching religion and shit based when I'm looking up stuff for like occult shit right now. So that's how I only really remember like how the Psalms connect to the Old Testament and how Solomon wrote the like Greater Key and how he communed with demons and shit to make the Goetia. Look, how you know religion and how I are very different.
I know religion because I am religious.
Exactly. And I am kind of not. So.
Also, just an intense, like, love of history tends to lead you to know a lot about religion.
I know
Can
bits and
we
pieces of it, but I don't remember like
explanation
specific.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
I know
play
I'm
the
getting
game.
to it, but like, yeah. Like, I know bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember like a lot of specific details because I never directly read the Bible yet.
Right.
Acting as though knowing this was only common sense, Maria laughed. For a while, everyone, including me, was at a loss for words. After some moments, George and Iki returned to his senses and slowly managed to speak. That's incredible. I'm surprised.
Whoa, you roboted for a second.
But it went away
Domo
right after.
arigato. So, what meaning does this magic circle have?
It's a magic circle to borrow the power of the sun. He who wears it as a talisman drawn in gold shall receive the power to break free from the bonds of any prison and gain freedom.
Break free from the bonds and gain freedom? It sounds deep.
It's really not.
The word bond is not limited to its interpretation to some kind of physical object. Therefore, it does not only hold meaning for people locked up in actual jail, it can also refer to the release from mental bonds such as the ties of obligation and inescapable fate.
Can't escape crossing fate. Ties of obligation and inescapable fate. That fucking shit. Balls. Cock.
Want to try that again?
Ties of obligation and inescapable fate, you say? That's also pretty deep. It really isn't. Think about who got
No,
killed.
it really is. No. But I really don't understand. What does this have to do with those 6 spiders? Far from being released, they were killed and stuffed in a storehouse, wouldn't they?
It's not like the magic circle was drawn for their sakes. The 6 of them were there for the sake of the magic circle. It is truly pitiable.
What do you mean?
I'll be right back.
What in the world do you mean when the 6 of them were there for the sake of the magic circle? Maria lifted up her index finger and waggled it as if she was making fun of us. Oh god, I've got Jurassic Park on my mind. You didn't say the magic word. You didn't say... God, I watched too much of that movie as a kid.
That's written around the circumference. Can't you read? Psalm 116, verses 16 and 17. I'll read it for you. The Lord has freed me from my chains. I will offer to you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call on the name of the Lord. See?
Once again, we're just jumping ahead. And like getting all of this shit.
Again, we're on the same level because of all the info we have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did she say it was a sacrifice? My dad wanted to show me a video.
She read the psalm that you did, that we and I did.
Oh.
And, like, explained that. Like, again, we are, like,
Yeah,
going ahead of the characters.
Essentially both mean, yeah. See, you say, I have no idea what you're saying.
You're saying that they're sacrifices.
If the part that Maria had just read aloud was the vital part of the magic circle, then it was saying that the benefit of this magic circle required sacrifices to be offered in exchange. So in the storehouse where the magic circle had been drawn, the sacrifices had been offered. It looked like everyone else had slowly arrived to the same conclusion. Some were shocked, others spat out, "They're insane!" and punched their knees. This was starting to become a seriously disturbing story. And we couldn't accept it, nor understand it. I don't care what kind of magic circles or curses other people believe in. That's their right and I won't pick a fight with them. But did they really kill Dad and the rest as sacrifices for some bullshit like that? I couldn't stand that feeling. I'd rather still be disgusted over all that talk around inheritance. As I started getting pissed off with the feeling between anger and sadness, I broke from the circle everyone was in and returned once again to the window.
To the wall. To the strip drop down my balls. All these bitches call. Oh. Dang.
So,
Skeet, motherfuckers. Skeet, goddamn.
something
I know a
had
lot of
got
that song.
insane since yesterday. That letter from the witch Beatrice that Maria had read aloud at last night's dinner. I feel like ever since that point this whole mansion, this whole island, have begun to be drawn in some kind of peculiar world. That's right. When I think back on it, that letter was an invitation from the witch. The ruler of the nighttime island had invited us inhabitants to the day of another world. With the phone and radio interrupted, and the island shut off by the typhoon, you could now call it another world cut off from the real one. Yes. On this island right now, it is perfectly normal for witches to send letters and for sacrifices to be offered to magic circles. So what'll happen next? Will some weird people wearing goat masks start doing the Bond Festival dance or something? No good. It's no good! I don't get it! The inside of my head is all screwed up and I don't even know what to think.
That's probably
Anger.
because of the drugs.
sadness. The opposing emotions all swirled up together and they started to suck me in. Oh wait, this is withdrawal shit. Unable to resist, I could do nothing but cover my eyes with my hands and entrust my mind and body to the spiral swallowing me. See, Senshia gets it. Smile! As I started losing heart, I began to recall a distant memory. It was from when I was very young.
When you're only listening?
Yeah.
That's... Oh, alright. That's cool.
Yeah, it's always done that.
Huh. I did not know.
I hadn't unfortunately seen a scary occult movie on TV, and, for a while, I hadn't even been able to go to the bathroom by myself. That old bastard had given an exaggerated laugh and said this. Hey, Battler. Why do you think they go all out of the trouble to make... Why do you think they go to all of the fuck.
All of.
Yeah. Hey, Battler. Why do you think they go to all of the trouble to make movies like this about demons and the occult and such? It's 'cause they don't exist. Something that ridiculous can't be found anywhere on the planet. 'Cause they don't exist, people want to see them, and go to a lot of effort making them. That's why those occult movies just make me laugh. If you ask me, rather than demons and monsters, this year's earning call and angry wives are 100 million times more scary. I'll go further, alright? If you ask me, being scared is an emotion for the entertainment of people who have too much time on their hands and too much empty space in their minds. They have so much free time, they don't know what to do with it. So, in order to play around with some unusual emotions, they created a culture of demons and monsters and stuff.
Oh, you were screaming like a little bitch when you were getting murdered. Were you scared
Seriously?
then, Rudolph?
See, why I've been acting so damn thick-headed. Was totally taken in. Ooh. Wait. Is this? I swear to God, this is so close to being, was it Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift?
I was gonna say
Dum,
Mortal
dum.
Kombat.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mortal Kombat more than that.
Like, both of those have, they're both, like, it's halfway between both of those, I swear to God. To hell with that shit. This is the human world. As if I give a crap. It's giving Mortal Kombat vibes to Senshia. Okay, I'll concede Mortal Kombat over Tokyo Drift. But still. As if I give a crap about witches, demons, magic circles, and sacrifices. The human who killed Dad and everyone else is still on this island. That's all there is, right? Next to start speaking to my heart was Kirie-san.
You know, in chess and shogi, the deeper you proceed into the mating attack, the very last moment of the endgame, the more limited your best possible moves become. Therefore, in that very moment, when you're backing someone against the wall, or someone is doing the same to you, both players' move become infinitely easier to read. In other words, when you're completely cornered and you think you have no moves left, that is the moment when it's easiest to read your opponent. However, when a person is forced into a defensive position, they can't help but lose their ability to think clearly, so they forget to read their opponent's moves. That's when you flip over the chessboard.
With all of my strength, I slapped my face with both hands. Now, my eyes were
chipped
truly
tooth.
open. How do you chip a tooth from a slap?
I take steroids.
When you don't understand anything, when you're completely cornered like I am now, isn't that the perfect time to flip over the chessboard? With us put on the offensive, we couldn't even guess at the culprit's scheme. If you flipped it over and looked at it the other way, just how far could you see? First of all, at the time the murders were committed by the culprit, they knew that the island was cut off by the typhoon. So they should have understood that even if they carried out the murders, they wouldn't be able to get away until the next morning. In short, the culprit had begun without securing a way to escape. Furthermore, the bastard even tossed the corpses in the storehouse, while doing the courtesy of telling us, "They are here!" with that weird graffiti. In other words, since we would probably find the corpses sooner or later, they wanted to show us them. If we'd all been dim and hadn't noticed the storage shed, perhaps the culprit's goal would not have been achieved?
The culprits?
If you think about it that way, that murdering maniac, since that morning, he must have been watching over our every move with bated breath. After all, if we hadn't been so kind as to discover what was on the storehouse, all that hard work and preparation they had gone to last night would have just gone poof. What did the culprit want to make us feel by showing us the corpses in the storehouse? All 6 of the bodies had had their faces noticeably destroyed. A grudge? A warning. The defacement of the bodies had occurred after death, so it hadn't been the means by which the culprit had murdered.
I understand
It also-
that deface... I understand that deface is like the actual term you would use. I
But
would
you
not
enjoyed the
have
wordplay?
used... Yeah, I wouldn't have... If I was to say, yeah, the bodies were defaced, I probably would have stopped myself and would be like, oh shit.
No, what do you mean? That's the best time to use that word. So, it didn't mean anything to those who had been killed. It had meaning to those who discovered it. The culprit wanted to show them to us. Look how brutally I killed them! Or look how easily I can cover up evidence of like how they actually died! Ha! After thinking this way, I really want to tell that asshole to stop talking so lightly.
Taking me so lately.
Shut up. I realized that as soon as I clicked through. Who would really dance to that tune? If I'm told, please be scared, I'm not just gonna say, really? Sure thing, buddy! When someone tells the great Ushiromiya battler, entrance this way, I'm the kind of guy who will start wanting to sneak through the window. The next thing that had me concerned was the attempt at a magic circle on the shutter. It was a genuine magic circle, declared by authentic by even Maria, who had demonstrated that her knowledge of the occult rivaled grandfather's. They must have drawn that thing in pitch black darkness while holding an umbrella in one hand, and it must have taken a lot of time. That's a formidable amount of hard work and attention to detail. What purpose would have been all that effort? Worth all that effort? If something related to the occult happened into this mansion, most likely, we would automatically all suspect the involvement of Grandfather. Did they want to make us think Grandfather was involved? But if that's all they wanted, they could have just drawn any old scribble that looked like a magic circle. It wasn't like any of us amateurs could tell the difference between the genuine and fake articles. However, this magic circle was genuine, and furthermore, it had even been written in Hebrew. So this magic circle had a message that could only be understood by someone with knowledge of the occult. Messages are a form of communication. You send them and hope for a reaction from the other party. Reaction. For some reason we couldn't find Grandfather now. I don't know how Grandfather could have managed to see the magic circle on the shutter, but had he chosen to hide himself in reaction to that sign? No. Was it a trap to make us suspect Grandfather's involvement? You could read it either way. Damn. That's annoying. What kind of reaction was the culprit hoping to get out of us by showing an imitation of the occult? Somehow, that felt like the culprit's weak point. A section of Beatrice's letter that Maria had read aloud during last night's dinner sprang back into my mind. The part that had said, "I ask that you enjoy our battle of wits." Sounds like fun. This is a battle of wits between us and the witch. Which will be first? Us being swallowed up by your occult games? Or me revealing you for who you are? There's a whole day until the typhoon passes. Why not enjoy ourselves?
Hey, alternatively, go into a room and lock it. Barricade the door. By yourself.
Okay. But say there is actual magic going on then. They've shown, like, other occult symbols there. If we take the assumption that magic exists, couldn't then the witch just ignore the locked door and still get you then?
That's why you.
Or-
So, I'm gonna be on the side of there's no magic. It's somebody.
Okay. That's fair.
If there's no magic and there's somebody, if you lock and barricade the door, even if they have a key, they can't get in without considerable force, which gives you time to grab a weapon.
Okay.
Assuming we're operating on regular human logic, that's how I
Okay.
would do it.
Makes sense. We'll see how well that goes as this plays out, but... I finally noticed that the inside of the parlor had gone quiet again. Everyone had sunk into their sofas, some deep in thought. Some irritated, and some depressed. Maria was once again enjoying the television as if she had never left. It looked like she had found the commercials more fun than the boring program, and she happily yelled, "Ooh, ooh!" and giggled.
Oh, she's watching football.
Yeah, I said each person's appearance in turn. If there isn't a 19th person, the culprit must be in this room. Dun. 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 Dun dun.
Of course, it was the kid. You know, the only one who couldn't drag a body.
Right now,
Let alone
Aunt Natsuki was
six.
searching. Yeah, Aunt Natsuki was searching the mansion with the servants, though, wasn't she? Then it shouldn't be in this room, in this mansion, is what we should say. After all, there was also the possibility that Aunt Natsuki was behind this, and we still couldn't deny that one of the servants could be the killer. Anyone could be the bad guy. Still,
Alright,
Aunt Natsuki and the rest are sure slow. Go on.
If that circle was made in paint, without like it being blood, it's just red paint, there's a possibility that it was Maria who drew it.
Okay.
Because there was
Okay.
a point in time the previous day where Maria was alone.
Ah, right, during the flowers, but she was also shown to be visibly stubborn and looking for a rose and kind of an idiot.
I guess.
So, like, that is like an opening where she could have done it, but it also feels a bit like out of character for her to just like break
Yeah.
away from her stubborn shit. Still, Aunt Natsuki and the rest sure are slow. Of course, it's not a small mansion, but isn't it taking a little too long to just walk around checking the windows and doors? Just as I thought that, Aunt Natsuki and the rest returned. Not one of them was missing, but our relief was short-lived. Everyone looked at Aunt Natsuki, shocked. The talk
Yes.
I'd had with Auntie Ava started to creep back into my mind. The possibility that the culprits had enough in numbers or weapons to kill all 6 of us at once. You know, that feels like a good place to start our ad break.
You know, it might not be a shotgun, it might be a pump action rifle.
We'll see. In any case, though, we've got to
Is
run
that-
ads, otherwise Twitch will do it in a minute, so... I'm glad I timed this right for, like, ending here before the ad started.
barrel of that gun is too small to be a shotgun. Like, are you able to take away the
I will.
words?
I will try in a minute. I'm going to quickly run the ads and grab tea, but I will try to clear it up for you in a minute.
I mean, it could be a
see on the flip
shotgun,
side
but
of
you just
one.
can't draw one. Maybe right back as well.
Of course, DD. I should probably take this time to step away for a minute.
I am back. Let me quickly check how to hide the text box. There we go. Alright. Soundwave, you back? Apparently Soundwave is not back, but hey. I've got the image cleared so we can check out the gun in a bit. But what I did want to point out now, thinking on it a bit more about Maria having an opening spot. When Canon left the mansion in order to head to the guest house, he went through the rose garden and did not notice Maria. When everyone came back, I am fairly certain, I would need to go back and double check. I'm fairly certain she was carrying a very conspicuous umbrella, though. So, welcome back. I was just, I cleared up the image for you, but...
Yeah, yeah, that might be a rifle instead of a shotgun, but it could just be, like, an art choice.
Yeah, it could be an art choice, we don't know, but...
Well,
in any case, as I was saying, when Canon, going on off your belief that, like, Maria did have an opening when she wasn't there, yeah. When Canon left the mansion to head to the guest house, he ran through the rose garden and did not notice Maria in the slightest. We're under the assumption that he just ran through and didn't pay attention to what was going on through the rain.
Yep.
But that was the only point in time when someone could have noticed Maria when she was alone before she was found by the group.
Yep.
When she was found, though, she had a very conspicuous umbrella. It was, like, white or big or something, like, noticeable. I'd have to, like, go through a backlog and, like, read that, but it was very conspicuous and noticeable. So either Canon didn't notice, Canon was in on the plan, or Maria was not there. Those are three options we have for, like, why Canon didn't just go grab Maria while they were there.
Maria not being there lends credence to my theory that she drew it.
Yeah. And the other reason that raises the question of the people we have been introduced to, she is the only one with knowledge of the occult that would have known what the circle was.
Yep.
Besides Kinzo, and he stays in his room playing chess that entire time with Nanjo, so I think we have an alibi for him. So, everything all right, Velvet?
Yeah, it's fine about that.
Yeah, sorry, we heard the mic rattling a bit. But you're right, that could have entirely been Maria then if that was drawn before. But again, as you also said there, if it was like written in blood or some kind of paint and it was like being done while she was raining all the way down there, that rain would have like started peeling it out a lot more than it had we've been shown.
Yeah.
Because it would have been fresh.
But
unless
if it had done while it was drying, you would have gotten the same effect.
yeah, so there's a couple like possible like niggles to like work through that argument, but I do like that point of thought. That train of thought.
Yeah.
Anyway. Alright. We all good?
Sorry if I've startled you. I brought this to be prepared for the worst.
Because the thing in Aunt Nazi's hand, was a rifle. It's a rifle.
I was right!
At a glance, its silhouette looked a lot like a hunting gun, but it was unusually short, and kind of looked like a kid-sized gun. However, it had a thickness to it, which revealed that it was definitely not some kid's toy.
Isn't that Kinzo-san's gun?
Did you know about it? That's right. I remembered that it was in Father's old collection, and I managed to find it.
That's super illegal, by the way. They're not supposed to have guns without, like...
My guy, he's also rich.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out.
Like, he doesn't have to, like, pull a doohickey on Shinzo Abe. He's got a real gun. And also, I don't think Shinzo Abe was, like, in office in the 80s.
I don't think Shinzo Abe was old in the 80s.
Shinzo was, like, in his 60s, I thought.
Shinzo?
Yeah, he was
When
born in the
died?
50s.
Oh.
Yeah, like... Yeah, he was born in 1954. He would have definitely been
So he was,
around
like,
at this time.
30.
Yeah.
I just said he
So
was
he's as old as the rest of the family. Yeah.
Whoa.
But-
Awesome. Not Nazi. Is that thing real?
Yes, it's real. It can fire live ammunition.
Another thing at Nazi. Could you stop fucking flagging me? Put that thing's barrel down at the ground, please.
Long ago, Father used it to scare off wild birds.
These bang pots and pans.
Oh, I remember. Where could that have come from? No matter how much I asked him to let me touch it, he never let me even lay even one finger on it.
Do you want to look at the barrel?
Check if it's loaded for me.
I'll show you.
Grandfather had one of these? I didn't know. Long ago, Grandfather was really addicted to westerns. That generation really liked this kind of rifle.
Oh,
it
no,
might
he's
be-
a
It might be a
Westaboo.
lever action. It might be a lever action rather than. So it's a mare's leg.
It had the like lever like right around her fingers.
Oh, I couldn't see it very well because dark
yeah,
clothes,
that's fair.
dark gun.
But
if
so he's a
that
Westaboo,
would
and that
accept-
also means he probably has a cowboy hat.
I know exactly what. However, that gun fires. I know exactly what it's called and its nickname. That there is, I believe, the Remington Model 1873. It's called the Mare's Leg, and I believe it fires 45 ammo.
It looks like it has some considerable history to it. I've never seen something this short before. Never seen one this short before. Ah, I remember that gun. It's that one that gunman goes firing off in with that old movie I used to love. Father sure has some good tastes.
Long ago, the master had brought that fucking. Long ago, the master had that brought over specially from America. As you can see, it's a real gun. So I'd ask that you keep this a secret. See, it is illegal. You're not allowed to own guns like that in Japan. Not without a considerable license.
Yeah.
Well, they're rich, so shush. He was quite tickled by it when he first got his hands on it. It seems the working that ejected the cartridge were more interesting to him than shooting it, and he played around with it back in the forest all the time.
That's a good way to break your gun.
Huh.
Still, what a dangerous thing. Are you sure you should be dragging this out?
Shoot her, Natsuhi. Fuck.
This isn't Doki Doki Literature Club, that's a separate visual novel.
It is one letter off.
Yeah.
This is preparing for the worst. There's probably more than one of them. Furthermore, they are terrifying people who killed 6 of us, including my husband. I have the responsibility to protect everyone until tomorrow, in my husband's place.
As Natsuhi-san said this, she slumped down into one of the sofas and took a deep breath. As well as checking the doors and windows, she had also been trying to find grandfather. Since grandfather was not with her, apparently his whereabouts were still unknown.
I carefully checked all the doors and windows throughout the mansion. However, we must be prepared for anything. Everyone, I think it would be best if we all remained here.
I agree. If everyone is gathered here, then we can all feel more secure by keeping an eye on each other.
What do you mean by that, Eva-san?
Nothing really. I'm just agreeing with your opinion, aren't I?
There was a dangerous atmosphere between the two of them. If you thought about who stood to gain the most from the inheritance problem standpoint, Auntie Ava was the obvious answer. However, there was no proof that Aunt Natsuhi was innocent as well. No, if you view Beatrice's letter from as grandfather's elaborate prank, and think of this incident as just an extension of that, there was more than enough evidence to doubt even grandfather. Aunt Natsuhi had thought that the criminal was on the outside, but Auntie Ava thought the criminal was on the inside. In short,
But
it
we're
was
all
the question of
criminals
whether or
on the
not
inside.
the 19th person exists. Yeah. Well, they're rich, so yes, they are all criminals, but... It was the doubt that had been repeated endlessly since last night's dinner, with the letter from the witch who called herself Beatrice. So whether the culprit was among us, bum 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 bum, bada bum, or not.
Amogus.
And did the witch Beatrice exist, or not? If you assume that something as stupid as a witch couldn't exist, it was the same as saying that one of these relatives here, who shared a common bloodline, was the culprit. If you didn't like that, it would be much more comfortable to simply accept the fairy tale about the witch. Did a witch do it? Draw that weird magic circle and sacrifice those people. If I could only accept that rubbish, I would be able to completely trust everyone in this room. However, damn common sense got in the way. It kept repeating that witches don't exist. In that case, the culprit was a Mogus. In the middle of the seemingly endless rain, none of us could break our silence. Scene change! Several hours later.
It is now 1.
Yes. Yeah, how are y'all feeling, by the way?
I'm doing good.
I think it could probably go on a little longer.
Alright, we can do a few more scenes and then... Yeah, we can end after that. Lunch had ended, and the servants had removed the tableware and were now in the kitchen. The wind and rain had neither weakened nor strengthened, and the island remained cut off from the outside world. It seemed that, at first, Natsu had planned not to let anyone set one foot outside the room. But when it came time to prepare lunch, she finally realized that this was impossible. However, in order to avoid anyone alone in the kitchen, she told the 3 servants to go together. Because of that, the servants were the first ones given the right to leave the stuffy parlor, which had been packed with 11 people. Since breakfast had immediately followed that terrible incident, and many of them hadn't eaten much, everyone turned to their lunches in silence. I will wash the dishes, so you can rest a while, Genji-san, Kanon-kun. Do you want something to drink?
Nothing for me. Canon?
Nothing for me either.
Actually, on second thought, I'll take a whiskey.
The only alcohol is in the master's chamber, after all. You'll have to take it from his cold, dead hands.
Piece of shit. Absinthe drinker.
You two must have been so busy and so early in the morning. It's no wonder that you're worn out. The only sound was that of Kumasawa watching the dishes, which resounded throughout the kitchen. I'm busy making my last cup of tea. Genji and Kanon sat in some chairs a short distance away, their eyes lightly closed. Just as Kumasawa had said, those two had probably built up a great amount of fatigue. But that didn't mean they could let it show in front of the relatives. Avoiding that was one of their virtues. After the silence continued for some time, Kanon opened his mouth and muttered,
Shannon. Why? Why did she have to die in such a horrible way?
Forget about how she died. It was nothing more than bad luck.
You're right. It was nothing more than bad luck.
They both fell silent once again. Kanon's expression was filled with grief. To think that Shannon-chan is actually dead? I still can't believe it. Poor Shannon-chan. Not being able to meet her again feels like a lie. I just want to see that girl's smiling face one more time.
Well, she is still smiling.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I mean, that's how it was described.
No,
She
it
still
said
has her
like,
mouth.
don't look. Half of her mouth. It was described as like, don't look at her now, think about how she was smiling when you proposed to her and shit. Also need to check.
Yeah.
Like, nah. Kumasawa spoke with her back facing them. Kumasawa hadn't seen Shannon's corpse, so she had no trouble mentioning Shannon's face. When Kanon heard those words, it reminded him again of how only half of Shannon's face had been left. His grieving expression twisted even further.
Why did Beatrice-sama do that to Shannon? If she wanted a sacrifice, there were plenty of others to choose from. Why? Why?
It was nothing more than bad luck. If chance had fallen even slightly differently, it could have been you or me lying out there. Or someone else. Everything is left to fate.
Genji-sama. You said that the door to Madame's room was stained with traces of something like blood, right? The same substance that was painted on the shutter?
Yes. It was an unpleasant mark. Almost as though someone with bloody with blood-stained fingers have been trying to pull on the door, out the doorknob. No, scratch through the door. That sort of unpleasant mark.
So, does this mean that Beatrice-sama came to visit the madam's room and tried to open the door, but couldn't? Is that what this means?
Genji thought back to the time he had seen those traces of blood on the door to Natsuhi's room.
It's unfortunate that we don't have, like, a map of this house. Because depending on where her door is in relation to outside, it could have been that one of them was alive and trying to get into her room, and she was just dead asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. They really should give us some maps of stuff beyond, like, occasional diagrams to show us, like, someone had to get the key and then come back, like what they did with the shed.
Yeah, because that would really help with solving the mystery.
Yeah. With the substance sticking to the door, around the doorknob, and the marks of something scratching against the door, it had definitely appeared as though someone had tried to open the door, but couldn't.
Why? Was Madame not chosen as a sacrifice? If only she had been chosen, Shannon wouldn't have had to die.
It's a fucked up thing to say about your boss.
Just then, a loud, sharp noise resounded from the hall. Both of them turned around, surprised.
Sounds like a pretty interesting discussion you're having. Let me join in too.
Battler was standing in the doorway to the kitchen.
Battler-sama, please excuse me.
Genji-san and Kanon-kun stood up, surprised, and hastily bowed. But I didn't care about stuff like that. I was more concerned with continuing their discussion.
I told them I was going to the bathroom, so they let me go. I thought I'd suffocate if I was locked in that room any longer. When I was about to come ask you for some water, I overheard something pretty interesting. You don't need to bow your heads or anything. Please, let me hear the rest.
That just now wasn't really...
I've been listening to you for a while. Don't try to hide it now. So I'll ask directly, who is this Beatrice? She's supposed to be a witch from a kid's story, but it doesn't look that way now.
Kanon-kun averted his gaze. It was obvious he didn't want to talk about this, which only made me want to ask even more. While making an effort to smile, I grabbed the collar of his shirt.
If it were last night, this would be none of my business. But after this morning, everything's changed. Now that Dad and the rest have been killed, this is totally my business. I have the right to listen to this suspicious story, don't I?
I glared into Kanon-kun's eyes as he continued to look away in apparent pain. Since there was a big difference in our heights, Kanon-kun had to stand on his toes, and it looked like it hurt a bit. Battler-san, please let go of him. It's not like Kanon-kun-san is really hiding anything.
Then you won't have any problem talking about it, right? It's lonely being out of the loop. Get it?
When I tried to further twist up his collar, Genji-san cut between us and spoke. There was a slight sense of resignation on his face. It looked like he didn't plan on hiding anything.
I can talk about it. Kanon only hesitated because you might have taken it badly, Battler-sama. Hesitating isn't very manly, is it? Keeping it a secret even more unpleasant. Tell me about it. It's not like I have anything better to do before tomorrow comes. A slightly shady story might be the best way to stave off boredom.
After Genji-san and Kanon-kun looked at each other, they nodded as though they had decided to talk.
Understood. Please ask us anything. We will talk.
Right. Then I'll ask. Who in the world is Beatrice? All I know is that she's a witch who lives in the forest of Rokkenjima. I've heard that it's a story that grandmother or someone invented to keep people out of the dangerous forest. Is that wrong?
No. It isn't wrong.
Oh, but
It's as you say. Beatrice Sama is a witch who dwells in the forest of Rokkenjima.
Butler Sama. I don't expect you to believe this all of a sudden, but Beatrice Sama exists. She is a real person. The one who gave the master a vast amount of gold, and who has worked by his side for many years. Huh? Ah, come on. Is grandfather paying you to repeat everything he says?
I laughed like it was a joke, but neither Genji-san nor Kanon-kun laughed. Not even Kumasawa Bachan, who... Meow? Meow meow?
No.
Yeah, it's just DD making herself known as usual.
Meow 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 meow. Meow meow.
Yeah.
Meow 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 meow. Not even Kumasawa Bachan, who avoided my eyes, flustered and started washing the utensils. So, unfortunately, I was the only one who was laughing. Painfully, bitterly.
I see. I see now why you warned me, Genji-san. Anyone sane would take this badly. So you're saying that a person named Beatrice actually exists? Yes. She's been working for the Master since before the mansion was built on this island. Most likely, she's been working for it even longer than I have. What do you know? Kirie-san's theory was off. Grandfather really did have a confidant called Beatrice, and she's on the island now.
Yes. I believe that she is here.
That's a vague way to say it. I guess that means you haven't seen her face today or yesterday.
Hold on.
Meow. Yeah, they're just meow meowing in the background. Meow. Meow meow meow. You know, yeah.
Oh yes, a
like you
stray
say,
cat
yeah.
that managed to get on the boat.
You know, like... Yeah.
Yeah. Yaruhodo.
Chair.
Yaruhodo.
There.
So
She was
desu
pawing at that chair that had a broken leg, or at least a twisted one. Now, she'd rather use my lap in the desk.
More cringe shit in a deep voice.
There we go. I have made art on stream.
Oh.
Oh, cat on.
You know,
It
yeah.
seems your cat boy is coming out.
Yeah. Anyways. Yes, it is extremely difficult to say, but,
Kanon-kun once again dropped his gaze, avoiding my eyes.
Come on, don't just stop there. It's like freezing an inch before the blow.
I urged him on jokingly. However, it looked like Kanon-kun was still unsure as to whether he should speak or not. Then Kumasawa Bachan whispered. Oh ho ho. You cannot see her face, because Beatrice-sama has no form.
And we're back at square one. She has no... What? Beatrice-sama has no body. Therefore, unless Beatrice-sama wishes it, common people like us are not able to see her form.
I have heard that the portrait shows what Beatrice Summer looked like back when she had a human form. I hear she offers lingers in front of that portrait, yearning for her old form. Ho ho ho.
Beatrice Sama sometimes changes her form into glittering butterflies and shows herself. On the rare occasion that you spot them somewhere in the mansion, there is a rule that you absolutely mustn't chase after them. It is whispered that you will meet with disaster if you follow them. In fact, there was a servant who broke that rule and quit because of a great injury.
Wait a sec. Are you kidding me? Are you all serious about this?
Battler-sama.
Battler-sama.
Oh, right. That's you. Sorry,
Battler. Yeah. Battler-sama. Beatrice-sama has already arrived. Such language may be unwise.
Beatrice Sama is not fond of those who profane her. If you doubt her existence, you will surely meet with disaster.
Battler-sama. You probably find this story unpleasant, but you know what? Beatrice does exist, okay?
She exists. Beatrice-sama has an exceptional dislike of being called into question.
Don't you understand, Battler-sama? Beatrice-sama has already arrived here.
Come on, quit it. I'm weak against this kind of stuff, you know? You're freaking me out.
However, there was no trace of a joke in the eyes of the three servants. On the servants, I laughed and tried to look unconcerned, but I was quickly starting to sober up. What?
The servants?
Servants, yes. Their eyes were also sobering up fast. So, how about we finish this kitchen scene and then we can call it the stream there?
Yeah.
Right.
Battler-san, I beg that you stop profaning Beatrice-sama. Please, trust me. Kumasawa Bachan, who was usually cheerful and would always tease people, now spoke with a totally straight face that I had never known her to make.
Well, sure, you say she exists, but I don't see anything. Are you trying to say that she's standing right next to me or something? Quit joking around. That's terrifying.
Just then, that unnerving laugh suddenly filled the kitchen. When I turned around, Maria was standing there by the entrance. But her expression and the feeling around her, her presence, felt exactly the same as the servants.
Whether your wavelength matches or not is determined at birth. Battler, you were born with a mismatched wavelength. That's why you can't see her, can't meet with her, can't talk to her. You're the type Beatrice hates the most.
Maria's laugh sounded like she was greatly enjoying herself, yet it was extremely eerie. It was almost like she was laughing at me alone because I didn't understand it.
Do you want to know about Beatrice? Beatrice is a 1,000-year-old witch. She has all the demons at her command and can harness the power of the alchemy to create the Philosopher's Stone and a vast quantity of gold. Grandfather built up all the vast wealth of the Ushiromiya family by making a contract with her.
You'll get it. You'll get it nailed down soon.
Yeah, it's just speaking it quickly is my trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I read Beatrice's letter, didn't I? That was real. Well, I guess it's pointless for me to try and force you to believe. After all, it looks like you were born without a trace of the sixth sense.
Man, Maria, you have done a 180 since we met yesterday. What are
Oh,
you
come on.
talking about? Yeah, go ahead.
It's gonna be like, oh, come on, we're in the same universe as Higurashi. What did you expect?
No,
No, we're in the
Higurashi
same
is a
universe
novel
as
here.
As a
Oh.
fictional Higurashi.
You were
Oh.
just watching the anime.
Pardon. Forget it. Anyways, moments passed.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Witches? Demons? Who told you that?
I heard it from Beatrice herself.
Maria kept on doing that unpleasant laugh. However, the servants who watched over this didn't even blink. She heard it from that witch in the portrait adorning the entrance hall? Maria kept on laughing in a weird voice, as though this was nothing more or less than the truth.
Maria, it might be rude to ask, but I'll ask one more time, okay? Who gave you that letter yesterday?
I got it from Beatrice. How many times must I tell you before you understand?
He was
You don't get
number
it?
one.
He...
I'm sorry, the way your inflection at the end of that sentence was very much he was number one.
Listen, I'm trying my best here. Come on.
She's a real witch!
You don't get it, do you? You can't see her. I know. You can't believe it. I know.
Just then, Maria's laughter suddenly stopped. Painful Existence, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We hope you're enjoying your time here, and hope you have fun. Enjoy those free channel points you get from the follow.
Yep. Battler, you still can't tell that Beatrice exists?
She exists, you say, but where?
Like I said, Beatrice exists right here.
Oh, posture check. Make sure you're sitting up, right? Stuff. Oh, and to hydrate. Okay. Just using all of them, right?
Hydrate before you dehydrate.
Thank you. I thought it was getting a bit dry from just sitting there not doing anything. That's right. Now that I think about it, I've been feeling for some time now that the others haven't been quite looking in the right direction. I'd figure that everyone had just been gazing into the distance, but that wasn't the case. The four here. Genji-san, Kanan-kun, Kumasawa-san, and Maria. Everyone except for me was looking at a spot right behind me. Holding my breath tightly, I slowly looked over my shoulder. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. I'd known that the whole time. However, everyone in the room except me was focusing on that point as if there was someone there. Oh god, a sit-up! Oh, okay. Exercise, how could you? Oh.
That's a pack emote.
Oh god, it's one of Pack's friends. Traitor.
Motherfucker.
That absolute traitor, how dare he?
I'm gonna be right back.
Alright.
Alright.
Oh, he's leaving to go and bother Pack. That's fantastic. I guess I'm gonna have to take over for him then. Unless he takes
Until he
past
comes
it.
back at
Get
least.
fucked, honestly. Well, fuck you too.
Pardon background noise.
I hope he gets back soon before like stream end, because I do have something I'd noticed through this conversation I want to... Okay, you are back.
He's back.
Sick fuck.
Anyways.
Beatrice is a great witch of gold who has lived for 1,000 years. But she can't show her form to humans of the wrong wavelength. And she can't talk to them. And you know what? She finds that really sad. That's why she truly despises it when people like you, who are born without a fragment of magic sensitivity, deny that she exists. You're lucky, Battler. Good thing that I gave you that charm yesterday, right? Who knows what kind of curse Beatrice would have put on you by now if you hadn't been carrying it around. You really are lucky, battler.
I'm more scared that you're gonna kill me, kid. Right, the scorpion keyholder. I thought that was just some cheap gift or something. Guess it really had some benefit then.
Oh, hydrate again from Nuke this time. Nuke is apparently gonna keep trying, not gonna try to drown us this time, thankfully. Nope, wait, no, I spoke too soon. That's one.
That's true.
That's two.
I'm out of water.
Well, hopefully that you don't get a redeem then.
If it weren't for that, you'd be lying in that storehouse as a sacrifice with your face crushed by now. You're so lucky, battler.
I don't think we told you the conditions of the body. I see. So if it weren't for that, I've been killed by now?
No, I think it was mentioned that, like, everyone was brought up to speed with what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that was, like, everyone was brought up to speed because Kumasawa didn't know what happened either, because she wasn't there.
I would not have told the 9-year-old. I'm gonna be real with you. I would have left it at your mom's dead, and then not told the 9-year-old.
Well, she was in the room as everyone else, so...
I guess.
Like, I see that as a train of thought, and we could probably follow that logic, but I feel like if we looked back, we could probably see, like, they did mention it, in fact, that, like, everyone in the parlor was told. So that's, like...
Yeah, probably.
That's a possible hook, but not one I see immediately strongly. Like, I find you're, like, missing, like, in the Rose Garden argument much stronger that she was involved. Go on.
Yep.
Alright.
Oh. No, I already said my line.
Did you?
Yeah.
Alright.
Battler, why don't you believe in Beatrice? Even though she exists. Right now, over there. Look. I bet... Hey, I'll bet you want to believe it now. Believe it and thank me for giving you that charm. If it weren't for that, you'd be in the storehouse right now. But then, maybe you would have saved someone else in exchange, right?
Right then, I burst into laughter. Playing witches had been fun until a second ago, but unfortunately, that last one didn't quite hit the mark.
Then it's no goddamn good at all, is it, Maria? If that's true, then I'm sorry, but it's no goddamn good at all.
When Maria saw me suddenly start laughing, she stopped. Even though she didn't understand what I was laughing at, she realized it wouldn't be pleasant for her.
I thought it might hurt you, so I didn't say it earlier, but... Although I thought I'd put that charm you gave me in my pocket, I must have dropped it somewhere, you see? That means the charm can't be the reason I'm alive now. And even though I should have been cursed by the witch, I'm perfectly fine. Sorry, but I don't believe in things I don't see with my own eyes. Sixth sense? Wavelengths? Magic sensitivity? Sorry, but I don't believe in fake stuff like that. When I hear the girls in class start talking about how good or bad their ability to sense the supernatural is, it pisses me off. I don't know how much grandfather is paying you, but if you're trying to talk me into joining some cult, believe me, you won't be able to do it that easily.
Paddler-sama.
You guys are free to believe whatever you want, but when it comes to whether I believe or not, that is always for me to decide. Sorry, but I can't believe in something as shady as Beatrice until I've seen her with my own eyes.
I spoke forcefully and sharply. When I did, Maria started cackling again.
Well, that's just fine, isn't it? Eventually, even people like you with totally mismatched wavelengths will be able to see Beatrice. Very soon, she will revive. Beatrice will revive. Once that happens, she promised to talk to me and play with me a lot. There's neither a need to doubt nor to force yourself to believe. She will appear very soon.
You are a terrifying child, Maria.
Alright, that's scene. But before we end off stream, I noticed some stuff in there I wanted to bring up and then point it out to you, but I'm gonna need to wait for this to, like, end. So, let's go back to, like, how the various characters were talking about Beatrice. So what we understand is that there was a person named Beatrice that gave Kinzo the gold. That's what everyone believes.
Alright, so there was somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe not a witch, but there was somebody.
Yeah. So, first off, look at how Maria says this. Battler, you still can't tell that Beatrice exists in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Everyone says Beatrice exists in quotation marks except...
Ganon?
Yeah, it was Genji.
Genji.
Yes. Right here. Battler-san, I don't expect you to believe in this all of a sudden, but Beatrice-sama exists. She is a real person. She was the one who gave Master a vast amount of gold and worked by his side for many years. Because
So
Genji is the only one who doesn't seem to have spoken, like, about existing in, like, the ones who
In a
believe she
metaphysical
exists.
Yeah.
Without, like...
He's
yeah.
the only one who's probably met her.
Like,
Probably actually physically met her.
Yeah. Yeah. The only one who has a chance of doing it, it would be Genji.
And this was probably...
But there's also the way you could phrase it as Genji is talking about the person Beatrice. But when he later starts using, like, the exist in quotation marks like the others, he's talking about the witch Beatrice.
Yeah.
So what people believe to be the witch is a separate existence from the person Beatrice who gave Kinzo the gold.
Yeah.
So everyone else seems to believe the witch exists, and that's what they're powering their, like, entire, like, pseudo-cult behind. Genji is the only one who could know the truth.
Yeah. Which brings up an unfortunate death flag for him.
Yeah.
Knowing the truth this early into a mystery means you get killed.
Yeah. So, well, you say this early into the mystery. We're about halfway through. We're a bit over halfway through. See the scroll bar?
Oh. Wait, so each episode is a different mystery?
There are like 7 nights to work through, man. Remember?
Oh.
Like, like you expect them to just kill off every single person in the, like, Twilights before the thing is over. Like there's 10 Twilights in, like, 8 episodes. They can't, like, kill everyone in the first thing. That they already killed, like, almost a third of the cast.
They killed exactly a third of the cast.
That entirely depends on, like, whether Beatrice exists or not, is why I'm saying, like, almost. But yeah, of the cast we can actually interact with right now, they've killed a third, so they can't possibly, like, kill every single one in a, like, episode, otherwise, like, they'd need to introduce an entirely new cast again, and that's kind of not conducive for, like, an overarching mystery story.
That's when you bring in Toshi and his buddy, the other cop, whose name I didn't bother coming up with.
Yeah. I don't think we ever came up with that.
You know what? Toshi and Nakamura.
Toshi and Nakamura, gotcha. Yeah, we'll just need to finish episode 1, but that will have to come next week. You guys said you were free Friday, right?
Yeah,
I'd assume so.
Okay, then Friday the 15th, at, like, the same time as always, we will be back at this to continue on with more of this big, fun murder mystery going on.
Yep.
I saved, right?
Yeah, you did.
Make sure.
Alright. In that case,
Clearly.
let us find someone to raid. Thank you all so much for stopping by the stream. We appreciated having you. I am really loving hearing how you all are like trying to think about what's going on and shit. It's really helping me like reconsider like how to read through the events of everything.
Yeah.
Let's see, who can we raid? Who to raid? No one I know is really live, but But you know who's playing Fate Go at the moment? Pheno Tyson. So let's go raid him instead. Yeah, looks like he's doing the summer event, so I'll need to get back on that grind myself eventually, but...
Same.
Yeah. I think I'm at, like, what? Let me pull it up on my phone, because I've been doing a lot of grinding. I think I've got, like, 3,000 treasure chests opened already.
I need to do more grinding. That's the thing. I need
Yeah,
to,
I have
sit
been-
down with something to watch.
Yeah. I have been doing non-stop grinding recently, but... like, whenever I'm not streaming, it's just been the grind. Anyway. Any ideas for a raid message you want to send to Pheno? Any, like, ongoing joke that popped up or something that we liked? Because I can't think of anything.
Make it look like an accident.
Yeah.
The culmination of that joke came up tonight.
Make it look like an accident, right? Alright. Gotcha. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by. We will be back again on Friday at the same time, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 Eastern, whatever the hell Pacific Time.
6
Pacific Time. We will be continuing this mystery, and I will see you then. So long. Bye.
See ya.
All right.